sure if I'm live yet. Oh, yeah. What's up, guys? Oh, I might have to mute this stream or I'm gonna hear myself. They probably see me do a bunch of stuff. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright. Nobody even knows I'm streaming, so let me tweet this out. And yeah, also let people know I'm streaming because nobody knows I'm streaming. I just started streaming without telling anybody. Whoops. Oh, it didn't add the thumbnail I wanted to this. What the fuck? I wonder if I can do it now. Let's see. Live control room. Hey there, Marina. How are you? How are you? Settings. No, I guess I can't change the thumbnail now. So, never mind. Never mind. So yeah, let me talk while I'm sending out links. Yeah, basically, how long have people been bitching about this Captain Marvel movie? It's been way too long. Since it was announced, basically, the movie's come and gone. It's like out of theaters now. Another huge Marvel movie came out already, and that became a big thing. So it's like, how are people still talking about it? They released a deleted scene. Yeah, it's a pretty cringy scene. It's a retarded scene. I could tell why they deleted it. Makes so much sense. It's really bad for pacing and I don't know. It's just not necessary in the movie, right? Especially if you're cutting time, that would be a big first scene that you'd be like, yeah, let me cut this out. But a lot of people are bitching about it, which you'd expect because it's funny. It's funny how this whole SJW thing started. It made kind of sense what was going on, but then it became so popular, and now it's like you can't get rid of it. It's just all over the place, and anything anybody does is like, oh, blah, blah. Fucking feminist, man. Let's see. Streaming now. Boom, boom. Alright, so I tweeted it out. I did everything else. Let's get. So basically, this new scene came out. It shows her. It's obvious. It's early in the film. She's still considered. If you haven't seen the movie, she's I know everybody's saying because of the scene, it basically makes her a villain. In the beginning of the movie, I don't think it makes her a villain, but I think it makes her indifferent. Maybe it definitely doesn't make her a villain. I don't see how it makes her villainous, because at least in comparison to anybody else or to normal human beings, if you're being a douchebag to somebody, if I'm being a douchebag to somebody on the street, I'm gonna expect to get popped in the mouth. It happens. You know what I'm saying? At least that's where I grew up. I don't know if everybody else grew up like that, but in most places I've been to, if you're gonna talk shit to somebody, you're most likely gonna get popped in the mouth. I've given us the background for us non-Marvel people. All right, well, the comic book background don't matter, but like I was saying, basically there's a scene they just released a deleted scene. It's very much like a girl power scene. I understand, and I'm not saying it's not cringy. I'm not saying it's not a shitty scene. I'm not saying it's not SJWE or feminist E. But at this point, I just don't really care anymore. And if you've made close to like half a dozen or a dozen videos on how SJWE Captain Marvel is, and then they come out with a deleted scene that shows the same thing, is there really a need to talk about it anymore? Like, the movie already came and went. The movie made its money already. As much as people were bitching about this movie, yeah, Billy Bong was right again. And I had your back, Billy, because you were right the whole time, and I kept fighting for you. And we're going to get into that, the whole Terminator analogy shit that I busted people on. But, in the end, it's like, who cares already with this movie? You already know what the movie's about. The movie's been out. It's funny because, like, me and Billy were arguing with people. Billy hasn't seen the movie. Billy's just going on, what he's heard of the film, or the one scene, the deleted scene that's there. That's pretty much all Billy knows about it, right? Um, and these people are arguing with Billy as if they know about the movie, right? All they've seen is trailers and the deleted scenes. And this becomes apparent after arguing because I've actually seen the movie. So I'm telling these people keep arguing that this scene makes her look like a villain. So basically, I was going to explain the scene from Reno, but basically, a guy comes in, a guy walks up to her. She walks up to a dude. It doesn't matter. But she's just sitting there, and he's like introducing himself to her. She tells her his name, and he says his name, and he's acting all douchey and fucking like trying to pick her up. But in the end, he's acting like a douchebag. So she basically hurts him. She almost hurts his wrist or whatever, and then she steals his bike. Uh, how does that it doesn't really make her a villain. It kind of makes her indifferent. And I'm going to explain why, because anybody who's seen the movie understands that Captain Marvel is not a hero in the movie till the end of the movie. It takes the entire film for her to grow to become a hero because she doesn't even know she's human. Like, that's what these people don't even understand, that at that point of the movie she doesn't even know she is human. You know what I'm saying? She's like, she thinks humans should, she probably thinks, I mean, like, doesn't say it in the movie, but if you take into account the character that they create in the movie, she probably thinks humans are lesser than she is. You know what I'm saying? Because she comes from an alien warrior race that basically conquers and controls the galaxy. They've been in a war with another race called the Skrulls. Now, neither of these groups are good. The group that she's in are called the Kree, and they have already been set up in the Marvel Universe. They were in Guardians of the Galaxy. They play a heavy role in the TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that's part of the MCU universe, and they've already been established to be villainous. The Kree are not good guys. The Kree are not neutral. The Kree are villains. They're evil. They conquer the galaxy. They think they're better than all other races in the galaxy, and they try to take over planets and shit. And they've been at a constant war. And her role in the group is she's a hero to them. She's a hero to the Kree, not the humans. The humans are just there. They don't give a shit. Her whole purpose is to be part of this elite team of soldiers for the Kree, which consists of two characters who were major villains in Guardians of the Galaxy. So, you watch the trailer. You're dumb if you didn't get it. If you watch the trailer and you watch Marvel movies, you're dumb if you didn't get that she was not going to be a hero right away. Because you see her in the trailer walking within a team of two characters who were major villains of another Marvel movie. You know what I'm saying? It's explained in the trailer that she is a Kree warrior. The Kree have already been set up in multiple films and television shows that they are villains in the MCU. Yeah, they are villains. So, how do you not get this shit? So, it's fucking ridiculous, yeah. And then you got, like, the whole thing started because of Tim Pool, which let me show you guys the tweeters. But really, it's just so funny to me how these guys won't stop with this movie. It's one fucking movie. It came out months ago, and they're still talking about it. It's fucking insane. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's see. Let me get to this tweet, and then I'll pop you guys in. So I gotta find it through Billy's tweet. How do I turn this off? Okay. Alright, let me show you guys. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Now I gotta scroll back up again. Alright, so Tim Pool said, "Whoa, never saw this clip, but damn, well, obviously you never saw this clip. They just released it as a deleted scene to promote the DVD copies coming out soon, the home copies. Captain Marvel is a villain. No, she isn't. She's indifferent. There's a total difference between being a villain. Well, like I was explaining before, she's part of this elite group. The Skrulls have agents on planet Earth, So she's being sent to hunt them down on the planet. Now, you can't necessarily, to our perspective as human beings, we can't really say she's a villain for this particular reason. She's there to capture or kill Skrulls. Humans, she's indifferent to. If she hurts the, I mean, if she could, I'm sure she doesn't want them to die, but if they're just going to get hurt, it's not going to bother her that much. It's not going to bother her to destroy a building or destroy some sort of private property. She's not from the, she doesn't think she's from Earth. She thinks she's from this way advanced, superior race of beings called the Kree, and that she's one of their greatest warriors. And her main concern is taking down Skrulls. So, oh shit! All you see is my fucking thing. That's stupid. And her main concern is taking down Skrulls. That's all she cares about. So if people are gonna get her in the process of her taking down a Skrull, she's gonna do it. Look, there's a whole action scene in the middle of the movie, right? She enters a subway and she's looking for a Skrull. A Skrull ran into a subway train and she runs in looking for them and she can't find them. And then she sees an old lady and she walks up to this old lady, as you've probably seen in the trailer, and she punches the old lady in the face. Now, I'm not using the old lady as an example. She punched the old lady in the face because she knew she was a Skrull. But if you're going to fight these powerful alien beings, and you yourself think you are a powerful alien being, wouldn't you wait for them to get off the train to fight them? Or if she could fly, she could have picked her up and taken her out of the train. But instead, she's going to go through this huge beef inside of a train packed with people, which is obviously going to cause collateral damage. People are going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? People might die, but she didn't care. That's who the character is at first, you know? And it's silly that these people are going to argue that, oh my god, she's a villain? Well, all that tells me is you didn't watch the movie. That's what that tells me. You had no idea what this movie, you have no idea what this movie's about because you didn't watch it. I don't know if I could play this clip. Let's see. But oh yeah, Joe Salads posted this. Marvel has created the worst, most unlikable hero ever. Well, maybe. I mean, that's subjective. Some people like her. Some people don't think she's the worst. They might think she's pretty down there, but doesn't mean it's worse. Sorry, I don't find the hero of the film likable when she nearly rips off a person's hand and steals his stuff because he's a jerk-off. Yeah, well, so what? Wolverine does that. You know what's funny? These guys never complain about other characters who do that. That's what this guy just described is Wolverine's entire persona. Anybody who talks shit to him gets popped in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? He threatens their lives. He might fucking take an eyeball or something. Wolverine is that character, and yet people love Wolverine. He's one of the characters who are a lot of people's like favorite comic book character, and that's exactly what his character is. So I guess it's cool when a dude does it. Hold on, let me pop out the chat because I'm not looking at the chat and I don't know what you guys are talking about. But I guess it's cool when a dude does it. But if a woman character does it, then no, that's not cool. I don't understand. Wolverine is a hero. Batman does shit like that too. Batman isn't always good, constantly good. Like, get out of here. You guys know what the fuck you're talking about? I don't think so. But this is where I'm saying that I think that these people have gone way too far on anti-SJW shit. And now it's just to the point of irrelevancy. Like, it's all this complaining about this scene that is a deleted scene is 100% irrelevant. Who gives a shit? I like to imagine Alf is mispronouncing squirrel. Squirrel. Deadpool is way worse. Yeah, good point, Anina. Deadpool is way worse. A million times worse. That was my whole point with the Terminator. Yeah, the Terminator is also one of those characters. He's an anti-hero, right? And man, let me get back to this. But it's ridiculous how these people talk about this. Sorry, I didn't find the hero likable. Well, if you don't like him, that's your own opinion. Who gives a shit? Here's me talking. I don't really care. Oh my god, why did you talk about Captain Marvel? Well, maybe because there is a new terrible extended scene just came out. It's a deleted scene. Nobody gives a shit. That is so bad it needs to be talked about. But you're not talking about how bad the scene is, like it was acted bad or it's just so out of place. What you're talking about is bad because it makes her a villain, which to me it doesn't, because in the context of the rest of the... Sure, if I just saw that clip and nothing else, then maybe I'd be like, wow, this chick's kind of a jerk. She might have overreacted a little bit. But in the context of the entire film, it 100% makes sense and isn't a terrible scene because of that. It's just, to me, the scene was probably cut for time or pacing, because I can't really see where you would put that movie where it would be paced well. I could see where you could put that movie where it makes sense to the rest of it, but it would destroy the pacing and make the movie longer, which, they're always cutting. These movies are always like 4 hours worth of filming, and then they cut it down to like 3 hours, 2.5 hours. So there's going to be a shit ton of deleted scenes. This is an extended scene, maybe he said, right? I don't think it is. Exclusive Brie Larson, the man in Captain Marvel scene. Smiles for no man. Yeah, I could see it's a bit of a feminist girl power thing, but in the end, this movie is marketed for that. And what's wrong with that? If they can market Spider-Man to nerdy dudes, why can't they market Captain Marvel to girls? What's wrong with that? With girls who want girl power, like, oh well, let it market to them. If there's not enough of them for it to work out and them to make their money back, then they fucking lose. But if there is, then let those people have that. You know what I'm saying? If that's what they like, let them have that. The market indicates this. This is capitalism. The movie did well. It did not do bad. The movie is, a lot of people have rated it bad, but the majority of things that I've seen is people are just saying it's a decent film. It's not great, it's not terrible, it's just decent. So it's a decent film. And if people like it, and it's marketed to those people, let them have it. Especially if if they make their money back from it, let them have it. Look, if I Sarah Connor. Are you Sarah Connor? But yeah, this guy's an idiot. So Tim Pool rode that bus too. He did his own video on it as well. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it because his videos are long. But also No Bullshit did one, and I left him a huge comment about it because it's so silly. Oh my god, what is happening here? Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of lag on my browser, and it's making me click shit. Is Off-White knighting women? Yeah, hell yeah, I'm white knighting women. Boycott Marvel. Yeah, Marvel Comics, the comic line sucks now because of SJW shit. I'm not going to complain about people complaining about that because they have a point to complain about that. And on top of that, the sales are not doing well. Marvel Comics is selling lower than like they have in like decades, and they're not changing anything to try to sell more and realize like, oh, this isn't selling the way we're doing things now. Let's change it, and we could do better. That's a problem. That's totally different. That's like if Captain Marvel completely flopped, but they were like, no, we're still gonna make another Captain Marvel, and then that one flops, and they're like, oh well, we're still gonna make a third Captain Marvel, and they're not, that's a totally different story. But people are complaining. People have been complaining since way before the movie came out. Movie comes out, people review it, complain. Movie's been out for a while, people still complaining a bit. But then a new Avengers movie comes out, the biggest one, blows everything up, everybody loves it, no problems, everybody's quiet. And then this little deleted scene comes out, they're still fucking bitching about it. Like, seriously? Come on, man. It's not that serious. Get over it. Wow. Shit, I gotta get back to this Tim Pool thing. I keep losing it. Sorry, guys. Okay, so well, I never saw this clip, but damn, yeah, obviously you never saw it. Captain Marvel is a villain. She straight hurts and robs a dude because he was a jerk to her. That's a villain. I wouldn't say that's a villain. I think that's kind of an anti-hero thing. Do you think if let's say the Punisher goes into a bar, Punisher walks up to somebody and starts trying to question him about some leads to find a gang, right? Yeah, you fucking guy, blah 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 blah. Where's fucking Scarface or whatever? And then this guy comes up behind him, taps him in the shoulder, and says, "Hey man, hey faggot, I was sitting there. Why don't you get up before I pop you in the mouth?" Do you think Punisher's just gonna go, "Oh, my bad," and move up and let him sit down? No, Punisher's gonna fucking rip his head off. Wolverine is gonna rip that guy's head off. But a chick can't do it, or she's a villain? What the fuck? How does that make any sense? It's so hypocritical with these guys. They only want to see feminist SJW shit, and they never look at the hypocrisy of what they're saying. I'm not saying these guys are never right about these things. They're right every once in a while. They say things that's right, but sometimes they go a little too far. Like things like this, where it's like, all right, the movie's been out, the movie did well, just let it go. More like Tim Fool, yeah. White Knight me, I'll White Knight Anina. She's pretty. Uh, Tim Tool. So basically, he claimed everyone thought that even though it was just him. Well, I'm sorry, I'm a little behind in the chat, so I might forget. Wasn't that nuts? His argument was everyone didn't know Arnold was a good guy. Yeah, yeah. So, all right, let me go to the Twitter thing, and then I'm gonna go, and then we'll watch No Bullshit's video. I'm gonna laugh about it. Um, let's get to the beginning of this. Alright, so Billy said, remember when Arnold threw a guy on a flat top grill and burned the shit out of his hands and stole his motorcycle? I'm sure T2 wasn't your favorite movie at the time, and I'm sure you cried about what a horrible villain he was. So, alright, which is true. Yeah, and, you know, Arnold was sent back in time. It's set up in the movie. Arnold is sent back in time to protect John Connor and save the world from the robots taking over, from the AI taking over the entire planet. He's a hero. He's supposed to be the hero of the film, but he does villainous shit. You know why he does villainous shit? Because he's indifferent to the human beings around him. Because his goal, it's not just unfeeling either. He is unfeeling, and that makes him indifferent to it. But also, his goal is bigger than individual people on the planet. His goal is bigger than people's personal property. Even if he did have feelings and didn't want to kill people, he would still end up hurting people in the process of saving the world, because that's more important than the individual people. He's willing to break some eggs. And Captain Marvel is that way too, with beings outside of her own species, what she thinks is her own species. She later finds out she's human. But Nostrabungus. Terminator was never marketed as a hero. Never. Terminator was never marketed as a hero. What? He was marketed as the villain due to the first film. No, he was marketed as a villain in the first film. And the rest of the films, he's not marketed as a villain. Never was. And they were trying to trick the audience in the beginning. What? In the beginning to T2? They were trying to trick the audience? Add to that the fact that Furlong Kid has to teach Arnie not to kill humans throughout T2. But that's a point, but the point is completely eliminated by the fact that the Furlong Kid, as an adult, sent Arnold Schwarzenegger back to protect himself as a kid and save the world from an AI invasion. Holy shit. I completely forgot that part of the movie, I guess. Then I put... There's a bunch of... Oh, yeah. So I put, Captain Marvel wasn't an Earth hero till the end of the film. She was a soldier for the Kree hunting Skrulls. Makes me wonder if you actually saw Captain Marvel. Also, find me one trailer of T2 where Arnold is marketed as a villain. Yeah, you won't find that. He says, I didn't see Captain Marvel. That's his first mistake. You didn't even see the movie, so how are you complaining about how she looks in this deleted scene without knowing the context of the scenes around it? It totally makes sense to her character, 100%. Villain. Villian. Well, I said Villian before. It is hard to spell villain. I often spell it Villian and get autocorrected. How would Banco have spelled yeah. Banco have spelled, yeah, Villain. Yeah. I've taken a victory lap on this Twitter exchange. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, Billy should take one too. Billy's actually the one who got the victory. I was the one explaining how Billy got the victory to this guy who was not understanding how his logic was so flawed and how he wasn't even remembering Terminator 2, right? Like, somehow when he saw Terminator 2 back in 1991, he didn't have it spoiled for him and went to go see the movie without ever realizing that Arnold was supposed to be a good guy in that. I always remembered it being a big deal because at this point in Arnold's career, he had always played heroes, right? He was an action hero star, right? And yeah, just think of anything Arnold did after Terminator. Terminator was basically the last time he played a villain in the 80s and 90s, and he always played a hero after that. So when Terminator 2 was announced, it was a huge deal, and everybody was asking, oh shit, is he gonna play the bad guy? Like Arnold hasn't played a bad guy in 8-10 years. Like, holy shit, that's weird. Is he gonna do it? And then it came out, it was on the news. I remember people talking about it way before the movie was anywhere near being done, even, that Arnold was going to play the good guy. And I'm pretty sure it's like a trivia that Arnold wouldn't do it unless he was playing the good guy, because he had that image at that moment. He was always the good guy and the main, protagonist. That's what he wanted. Is Captain Marvel a porch villain? I guess so. Well, she was definitely on the porch most of the movie until the end when she realizes that she was brainwashed and she's really human and, breaks free from that and decides that she's going to attack both the Kree and the Skrulls, that they're both villains, and she's just being used as a pawn in their war. Arnold played a bad actor. Yakety yak, don't talk back. That was always the most hilarious scene to me in that. Uh, Arnold's funny, not in a comedic level. He's funny because his accent's funny. So he just says certain things that just sound hilarious in his accent. But I said, yeah, but Arnold was always marketed as the hero of the movie. You didn't see the movie. Your entire point about the scene is moot. You have no idea about the character, yet want to criticize her actions that are in character? No thanks. He said, it's a deleted scene. The character in... What is that? Huh? It's a deleted scene. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The character in Captain Marvel precedes the movie as an established hero. All right, so if you make a movie, so you can't make origin story movies anymore? Like, oh, everybody knows Spider-Man's a hero, so you can't make an origin Spider-Man movie anymore where Spider-Man's a jerk at the beginning, which is kind of Spider-Man's story. He's indifferent to things. Almost the same as Captain Marvel. He's indifferent to the things going on around him. The whole point of the story of Spider-Man is he doesn't want to be a hero. He just wants to be a normal dude. He just wants to make money off his powers. He doesn't stop a criminal when he has the chance to and has the ability and has the powers to do it, and doesn't. And then yet that turns around and bites him in the ass when that same criminal ends up killing his uncle. So he becomes a hero. Just like in Captain Marvel, where she's indifferent to humans until she realizes the Kree have brainwashed her and changed her memories, and she realized, oh shit, I'm a human and being used as a tool by the Kree for their war against the Skrulls. And then she becomes a hero in her own right. Again, also, and then we can go into the other characters, like, yeah, Tony Stark sold weapons to terrorists at the beginning of Iron Man. I guess he's a villain, can't turn into a hero once he's done things like selling arms and stealing a vehicle. It's an origin story. Iron Man sold arms to terrorists before he grew into a hero. The Hulk has caused countless amounts of collateral damage before he was able to control himself. Spider-Man let a criminal get away. The deleted scene is obviously from before she becomes a hero. Captain Marvel is not... Yeah, I had to explain it a couple times. This is like answers to the same guy because he kept repeating shit, so I had to keep repeating it. But I repeated the whole thing, how she's brainwashed. Collateral damage, no biggie. Humans getting hurt, no biggie. Skrulls being caught or killed is what matters most. Yeah, David comes in with, I don't know why anyone is internet fighting with people who haven't seen the movie and claim to know what it's about because of a trailer and possibly deleted scene. I'm like, yeah, that's a great point. So I really have to explain the character to you? It sucks. Oh, this was some... Yeah, this is... Yeah, it sets this up weird. This is a different response. But anyways, so we have to explain the character to you? It sucks, because I have to go out of my way to explain something to a person who is arguing something he has no clue about over a deleted scene that totally makes sense to the character, and he would know if he saw the movie. He said, no, you don't. It's a deleted scene. They deleted it because they clearly thought it made her look like a villain. Even though there's other scenes that make her look like villains still in the movie, that's where this guy doesn't make any sense. If he had seen the movie, he would know that. But he doesn't know that because he hasn't seen the movie. I'm arguing that saying a film about a killer robot in a sequel where he was a bad guy is a flawed comparison. Arnie was still more justified in his actions, but I don't think so. I think he's just as justified. How do you know what made them delete the scene? Do you work for Marvel? Yeah, good point, Billy. And I'm like, yeah, there's other scenes like her blowing up a random jukebox to show off her power that was kept in. Yeah, they kept that scene in when she's sitting down talking to fucking Samuel Jackson about who she is. And he's like, oh, how do I know you're not a Skrull? And she's like, oh, because I could do this. And she fucking makes a jukebox explode in the middle of a bar. You know what I'm saying? That's serious collateral damage. No hero would do that, obviously. But she's not a hero yet. She's explaining to Samuel Jackson who she is, that she's a Kree soldier sent here to find the Skrulls and seeing if he's going to help. In general, I think it is a highly unnecessary scene when you already have other examples. Yeah, that's like I said. I think it's more cut off for pacing reasons. That would make sense. Let's see if I can find more. Oh yeah, so we go into the Terminator shit. Find the character T. I already did this. To suggest that a film that was politicized as a female superhero, who cares? Like I said, it's marketed to those people. Let those people enjoy the movie. Obviously, it made enough money. There are people who enjoy it. Let them enjoy it. That means that what they're doing either works or doesn't or doesn't or doesn't or doesn't not work. I guess that's hard to say. Or does it not work enough to destroy the film, and people still went to go see it. So, I mean, obviously, the marketing that you guys are saying, oh, if you market it like this, nobody's going to go see it. Obviously, people went to go see it. Enough people that made it a big time film. They made their money back plus more. It's not a flop. It did great. And even before this, the movie hadn't even come out, and people were dissing on it. I remember The Quartering. Somebody made a joke because The Quartering also made a bunch of videos about this, about one movie, and then somebody he put out one of the videos like after the movie had already been out. He made so many, and somebody as a joke retweeted and said, "Watch this movie, be good." He's like, "I'm gonna laugh so hard if this movie's good," and so The Quartering retweets that and says, "Oh, it won't be." And it's like, what? How do you know it won't be good? You haven't seen the movie. That's how retarded these people are. That they just want to assume a movie's bad without seeing it. How many times have you seen a trailer of a movie that looked like shit? Took you forever to watch it, but then you eventually did, and you were like, oh shit, this is a good movie. Like, why didn't I see this earlier? The trailer made it look like shit. Yeah, that's happened many times. Hold on, I'm about to smoke this weed. Sargon should make a boring ging story. What? That's hard to read. Yeah. So, yeah. How? To suggest a superhero when the killer robot actions are more just how are the actions justified? He told someone to run their fucking motorcycle and check. Yo, run your pockets. I need you to run your pockets. And a killer robot is not a killer robot. The original one got crushed in the first. Yeah, he's not the same Terminator. He's not playing the same Terminator. The original one got crushed in the first movie. It's totally different Terminator. Just because Arnold was in both movies doesn't make it the same character. He's like, are you seriously this dumb? You understand that Arnie played a Terminator in T2, and you don't think he is as Killer Robot? It's like you equated Killer Robot to bad guy. How many people did he kill, by the way, in T2? Also, none of this shit matters. Good guy does bad thing in movie is the bottom line here. No caveats. Yeah. Also, she saved the planet Earth. I guess, but she's a villain, Let's call her a villain because she hurt a guy's wrist and stole his motorcycle. Her saving the planet, not as good. Let's weigh those scales. I think she's more of a villain because she hurt some dude's wrist and took his motorcycle. Saving an entire planet, that's not that good of a deed, right? Everybody does that every day. Also, no, yeah. I'm arguing that your comparison is flawed, considering one is literally playing a machine designed for killing, and he didn't initiate the violence in his scene. And they even toyed with his established villain role in previous film, and the other wasn't. And your argument, and then I said, and your argument is flawed because, as I've explained to you a million times, she is not a hero till the end of the film. Hell, she doesn't even know she is the same species as that guy. You keep saying she's a hero when she is not a hero. Yet, in the context of the film, stop. If you want to defend a cringy deleted scene commenting on toxic masculinity where she actually looks worse than a killing, unfeeling robot, no she doesn't, then go ahead, but don't pretend it's about her overall journey and she is not heavily marketed as a hero. Oh god. No one is defending the scene. This is your own dumb assumption. What is happening here is people are talking out of their asses and they're being corrected by people that know what they are talking about. No one said the scene wasn't cringy. Our point is the scene makes sense. Billy's point, my point is Tim is a bitch for crying about a movie where we've seen the same thing before and they didn't complain. I agree. Wolverine acts that way, Batman acts that way, Punisher acts that way. We've seen many heroes. Not like Superman back in the 80s when, remember Superman 2, he turns bad in that one, right? But we're not talking about when he turns bad. There's a part where he loses his powers and he goes to this bar to drink and some beefy guy picks on him and he fucks him up. The guy fucks up Superman. Superman tries to stand up for himself, but without powers and being just regular Clark Kent, he gets his ass kicked. Later on in the movie, he gets his powers, and guess what he does? He comes back and exacts revenge on the guy. Shit, that's a superhero move. Not remember these guys bitching about that. What the fuck? Yeah, bitch, and they didn't complain. Yeah, it's only a problem because it's a woman, and women aren't supposed to act like that. Ha ha ha. Ant-Man and Iron Man can be douchebags on the way to being heroes, but a woman, no way. And this is where I understand when... Now, I understand that SJWs and feminists are quick to call people misogynist, and sometimes... And a lot of times they're incorrect in calling people that. But I can understand why they call some people that. When you see things like this, when you see people who want to argue something so bad without knowing what it is, just because they feel a certain way about it. They're doing what SJWs do. When they try to tell you something's racist, and you try to explain to them over and over again how it's not racist, and that they don't know what they're talking about, but they won't accept it, and they just keep arguing a certain point, even though they don't know what they're talking about. It's insane. And you see, this guy that's how he's saying, oh, if you want to defend a cringy deleted scene. Nobody defended that it was, nobody said it wasn't cringy. Nobody said that. What we said was that it makes sense within the film. There's other cringy moments in the film. That's not the only one. They didn't delete things they thought were cringy. Like, when there's other similarly cringy moments in the movie. This is like, I made a live stream before where some girl was bitching about how Captain Marvel was saying that she's a hero in the movie to a space hero to Samuel L. Jackson in the movie, in the trailer, and they're like, that doesn't make her seem like a hero. Why would she say that? That's terrible. And it's like, are you not watching the same trailer I'm watching? She's a brainwashed Kree soldier. Like, how are you not understanding what's going on here? She thinks she's a hero to the Kree, to the universe, because she fights the Skrulls, who she thinks are the ultimate bad guys, because she's been brainwashed by the Kree to think that. Derp, derp, derp. Yeah, well, I feel, yeah, that's why it's because it's a woman, it's a problem. They don't realize that it's hypocritical. But I was tricked because Terminator was bad. Yeah. Was Arnie in the first Terminator the villain? Did they play bad to the bone after his biker scene? Clearly playing on him being a villain in the first movie. No, bad to the bone doesn't mean villain. It means badass. Yeah, it means biker type badass. That's when you hear that stuff. Was Arnie a villain in T1? Yes. Like, why does he keep talking about T1? Someone who is bad to the bone is generally a villain. No, anti-heroes are bad to the bone, like Wolverine, Punisher, Batman. They're all pretty badass motherfuckers. Badass works too, but given the character was a previous villain, it was a callback to that. Was it? I don't think it was. He was expected to be bad. I don't think so. No, he wasn't. Only you expected him to be bad. Yeah, that's not an argument, dude. Again, was Arnie a villain in T1? If yes, then many expected him to be bad during his opening in that scene. Plus, they played that song as a reference. If you thought he was a bad guy, he was going to be the bad guy of that movie, when you went to go see that movie, you lived under a rock. For sure. Here you go. Official trailer tells you he's a good guy right there in the trailer. Now, fuck off. Thank you. Yeah, if you ever seen the theatrical trailer, there it is. Were you even around in 91, dude? Wow, how's he still arguing this? The trailer means fuck all back then. What? Many people would have seen movie without necessarily seeing the trailer, because we didn't have internet back then. We had television, dude. Everybody watched television. T2 was the biggest movie of that summer. Most anticipated film of the 90s. And people went to go see it without seeing a trailer for it on TV or on other movies, before other movies. Insane. I don't know, any of you guys remember T2? I think all of you remember that being constantly on TV. Guns N' Roses, You Could Be Mine, or You Should, what is it? You Should Be Mine? You Could Be Mine? Came out with a music video for the movie with clips of the movie, and that was out before the movie came out. It came out earlier to promote the movie. You don't remember seeing that? That shit was played on MTV consistently, like all the time. It was always on. It was huge. That movie was enormous. How did you have not seen it? I don't know. It makes no sense. And the sequel is for a film where Arnie was the established villain. Do you get the difference? I was 12 in 91. I remember everyone knowing Arnie was the good guy this time. It was on the news. Everyone knew. Also, what people think outside of a movie is their own fault for making assumptions. He's like, okay, I was 14, I remember seeing the movie and not knowing. Yeah, Australia was probably that tells you it right there. Australia was probably a little behind. I remember how other countries would always get movies like 2 years before us, and they wouldn't get the big news about it like we did. Australia was probably a little behind with the saturation of media content. We see stick to our experiences, I guess. I don't think assuming Freddy Krueger is the villain in the sequel is the audience's own fault, though. Yeah, I can see that point. But it is your fault because if you go see a movie, you got to see it as its own movie, and you got to realize what happens in the movie. At any point, they can make a movie where Freddy Krueger becomes the hero. I mean, they made a Freddy versus Jason movie. You can't really see either of them being a hero in it, but they could have done it that way. They could have said, "Hey, let's make Freddy the hero and Jason the villain." You know what I'm saying? And then your expectations would be shattered, which is what movies do. Movies should expect shatter your expectations. Maybe not such a cheesy way, but yeah, you know what I mean. So you've been arguing with us for 2 days, even though we told you a million times, and you don't do the research on the trailer now? Awesome. The trailer I remember was different. Anyway, still doesn't change the fact he is a killer robot who was still on this, who was assaulted first in his scene and Captain Marvel initiated violence. Also a million times is quite hyperbolic. Yeah, we know that. The fact is, we were right, and you owe us an apology. Yes, you were right about the marketing of T2, and I was wrong. I apologize, sorry. We were right about every single thing we said. He said, nope, you still had a flawed comparison. Killer Robot was not marketed as a hero, as a gender. Nobody cares. He's like, no, I don't. My comparison is good guy does bad thing in movie, doesn't get called the villain. You brought up marketing and every other bullshit caveat. Exactly. I'm gonna like that, Billy. I didn't even read that one yet before. That's exactly it. There was one thing I wanted to read that I said that completely busted him, and I don't think he responded to it. I was like, yeah, here's where I'm gonna bust you right here. I don't know where it is though. There was so many little branches onto this fucking bullshit. It might have been this one that David jumped into eventually. Yeah, well, I'll just explain it to you because I don't know where it is. But basically, how he was saying that the Terminator was set up to be it was set up to be a villain. Oh yeah, so it's okay the way he did it because you understand he's a villain before the film. Well, which you didn't. You knew he was going to be the hero of the film. But let's just say within the matter of the film, we know the sequels. We know people are going to be, the Terminator's going to be like villainous or cold or whatever, and then grow to become a hero. Same thing with I told him, here's where I bust you. It's the same thing with Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is part of the Kree, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger is part of the Terminators. The Kree have already been set up in previous films in the series to be the bad guys, just like the Terminators were set up in previous films to be the bad guys. And in both films, they start off as part of this group and become good guys. Makes more sense even with Captain Marvel because Arnold in the film, even whether you know it or not, is good the whole time. His whole point is to save John Connor, is to protect John Connor. Where Captain Marvel, her whole point is to stop the Skrulls. She never was a hero to the good guys at the beginning of the film, and then grew to become a hero of the good guys. A hero of the humans. Durr. But yeah, let's see, how many videos did these guys make about this character? Let's see. Oh my god, there's so many. This is no bullshit, right? Let's see. This might not even be all of them. This is just a general search. Why won't it let me scroll down now? Oh my god, I did not want to do that. I guess streaming is making my browser act a little funny. Alright, let's see. These are not no bullshit. Let's say it's alright. Captain Marvel goes full Ghostbusters 2016. It didn't really go full Ghostbusters. If you watch the movie too, it's not that SJWE. It has some parts. It's a decent movie. Ghostbusters was not. Ghostbusters was a terrible movie. Where Captain Marvel is a decently done movie. Nice shots, the story makes sense. No bullshit jokes that break the fourth wall and shit like that. All right, so that's one. Here's two. Hot take: Captain Marvel, which I guess is a review of the film after seeing it 2 months ago. This one was 3 months ago. One day ago, Captain Marvel goes full SJW villain in deleted scene. We'll watch that. Avengers Endgame cast hates Brie Larson. Who cares? Who cares that the cast of a movie doesn't like an actress? What? Who cares? Plus, I bet it's not true. I'm not going to go through the trouble of watching it, but I bet I watch it and it's not that they hate her. They're a little annoyed by her. I bet hate is a really strong word. Captain Marvel's in damage control now. 3 months ago. She didn't need to be because the movie still did well. But who cares? Captain Marvel controversy continues. It's not even like a specific thing now. It's just like, it continues. Holy shit. Captain Marvel SJWs blame men for bad reviews. I don't doubt that's true. But again, who cares? At this point, we've been talking about this, not just Captain Marvel in general with SJWs, and then giving reviews to movies, and movie studios trying to push some SJW shit, people bitching about it, and then complaining that, and then blaming it on, white males are giving us bad reviews. You guys aren't tired of that yet? Like, everybody knows that happens now. You just keep giving it more attention. Like, just stop giving it attention. People aren't going to care about it anymore. It's just going to go away. In fact, I bet a lot of those articles get hits from people going on them like this. Like, all these YouTubers researching this and looking for this stuff gives hits to these articles and those sites. And then their fans watch it, and then they want to read the article themselves, and they give them more hits. So you're helping them. You're giving them attention and traffic. Captain Marvel body shaming double standards. Really? Like, come on now. SJW moments in Captain Marvel. Thor calls out Captain Marvel's arrogance. Who cares? This is so weird to make this many videos of it. I didn't even count it. How many was it? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 videos on a movie from before it came out to, from 4 months ago till yesterday. It's like, dude. Like, almost 5 months you've been talking about this shit. Get over it.
As tall guys,
Oh my god. I hate these fucking ads. My bad.
Today we return to talking about the
Yeah,
much discussed and usually detested Captain Marvel. I initially thought this topic was pretty much dead after her movie came out back in March, and her appearance in Avengers Endgame last month came and went too, but now Captain Marvel has just started to roll out its final release on Blu-ray, DVD, and streaming services coming soon. And with this home viewing release, with the many to say that she's basically a villain at this point,
She's
or even
basically
an
a
SJW
villain at
villain.
this point.
Fortunately for
Yes, but not a villain. You're seeing it as a villain, but she's not a villain. She's indifferent. That's the thing. She's not a hero or villain. She's a hero to the Kree. She's not a hero to humans at this point of the film. He saw the film. He put up a review of it. He should know this.
For Marvel,
So I don't get
this
it.
was just a deleted scene from the movie, and they were smart enough not to put the whole entire thing in the final product. But still, regardless,
Yeah.
people are looking
Also, who
back
cares?
on
It
it
wasn't
now,
good.
and it does show that many were right about Captain Marvel all along. And then there's a whole
Who said they're wrong? Who's been saying they're wrong? Except for SJWs, who are obviously going to say that. You're talking to your own audience. Your own audience believes you. They believed you the whole time. Nobody in your audience was doubting you.
whole other crowd on the SJW side who are still defending their beloved SJW
Oh my God,
feminist
still
hero,
defending their-
even
yeah.
saying that this scene is her fighting toxic masculinity, whatever that means.
It kind of is her fighting toxic masculinity, like you said, whatever that means. But it kind of is, and it would be if it was a dude too. If it was a dude against another dude, it would be a dude punching another dude in the mouth for acting like a dick. That's what men do. That shit's normal. Maybe he didn't grow up in a place where stuff like that is normal, but to me that's normal. When I was a kid, if I went out and talk shit to somebody, act like a dick to somebody, chances were I was gonna get popped in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Or if not, they were gonna fucking yell in my face or try, get ready to fight and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna fuck you up," you know, and we were gonna beef. That's how it was. When people talk shit to me, that happened. I had tried to. I wasn't the kind of guy who would pop somebody in the mouth right away. But if they talk shit about me, I'd fight back, and I'd talk shit back. And if they wanted to fight, they wanted to fight. That's the way it is. But a chick can't do that, like, for some reason. Why not?
We'll get to an article all about that BS soon too, but first, let's go over the deleted extended scene beat by beat, so we're on the same page before we move forward, and you guys
Plus,
can
the movie
see what
has more
everyone is
scenes
talking
like that,
about.
more
Now, I can't show the
SJW
whole
scenes.
video here, but we're going
It's
to go
not
over some
off. It's
pictures and
nothing
I'll
new.
walk you through it step by step. You see, things start off with Captain Marvel looking
Oh,
at
here
a
we go.
map
He'll explain it to
outside
us.
some stores near downtown Los Angeles in the setting of the mid-90s when this movie takes place. Apparently, Captain Marvel just crash landed on Earth, and now she's trying to figure out where to go and what to do next. Right away, a guy on a motorcycle rolls up next to her. The guy jokingly says, "Nice scuba suit," on the account of Captain Marvel's
that
getup
was
being a
weird,
blue, skin-tight, and waterproof-looking
scuba
thing or
suit.
something. It does look like scuba gear. Then after this joke comment, the biker even offers to give Captain Marvel a ride. Not really seeming like that bad of a guy, right? He's trying to help her out even. But his next
You
move
think so, or is he
slightly
trying to get laid?
questionable, as he jokingly asks Captain Marvel to smile for him. The biker says he's offering to help her, so the least she could do is give him a smile. And this, of course, is a big F you the movie makers are
Yeah,
giving to the
they
fans
don't
right
like
here.
that.
Many people in the real
But
world.
guess what? This movie is marketed towards people who don't like that. We've seen it. You just said this movie is marketed for SJWs. You've been saying this whole time, and for some reason, this is surprising to you, or you have to use this as like, see, I told you I was right. Nobody said you were wrong. This movie is marketed towards. I wouldn't say SJW. This movie's marketed towards girls, little girls.
World comments
And yet, telling somebody not to smile is not that big of a deal. I understand that. But if you're going up to random people and asking them for a smile, if you're doing favors for people in general too, let me say this. In general, if you're doing someone a favor and want something in return, you're not doing the good thing here. I'm not saying you're doing a bad thing, but what you're doing is neutral. It breaks even. You're not doing something good because you're expecting something back. So if he wants a ride, he wants to give her a ride, that's cool. But now he's asking for something, not so cool. You know what I'm saying? And now depending on how he asked for that smile, if he's coming off as a complete douche, then he's coming off as a douche and he's not being good. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of insinuating that he's saying like, hey, I'll give you a ride because I think you're hot and I want to fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't a problem, but to her that might be a problem. Why not? I don't understand. I don't get it.
on how Captain Marvel looked bland
I do think what she did was an overreaction, but I can understand why she would be upset. And it is a bit of an overreaction. I think a girl in real life might smack this dude. You know, we've seen that a lot, right? And nobody ever really says, wow, that chick's a bitch when we're watching a movie. We've seen this a million times in movies, right? Some dude goes to hit on some chick at a bar, comes off really sleazy. Maybe the words he's saying isn't sleazy, but the way he's acting is sleazy. The people making the footage is showing you the guy is sleazy by the way he looks, his hair. Look at his hair there, the way he's dressed, kind of his face. He kind of looks like a sleazeball. I'm with that. I think they dressed him up right to look like a sleazeball. But we've all seen this in movies where the guy does that. The girl turns around, throws her drink at him or slaps him. Nobody ever says that chick was a bitch. You know what I'm saying? People laugh it off. They'll laugh at that. They'll be like, aha, he fucking struck out. Nobody ever says, oh, that girl's a bitch. What a villain. She's such a villain because she didn't, because she threw a drink at him because he came on to her all sleazily. Nobody says that.
and boring, and perhaps she needed to smile more if she wants to be more likable. So
You think that's a good thing to say to somebody? You think you should go up to people on the street and say, hey, you should smile more if you want to be more likable? What? Hold on. Is that what he's saying?
But his next move is slightly questionable, as he
It's slightly
jokingly asks
questionable.
Captain Marvel to smile for him. The biker says he's offering to help her, so the least she could do is give him a smile.
No, that's
and
not
this,
the
of
least she could
course,
do.
is a big F
She
you
could just
the
say
movie
no.
makers are giving to the fans right here. Many
What?
people
Why?
in the real world commented on how Captain Marvel looked bland and
Oh my
boring,
God.
and perhaps she needed to smile more if she wanted.
But this scene was most likely filmed before all that hoopla came out. So, are you saying that they made this scene specifically as a way to say fuck you to the fans who aren't really fans? That's not true. What fans who said that? I think most of the people who said that didn't like Captain Marvel from the beginning. They never were
to double
Captain Marvel
down and
fans.
say screw you and make this line happen in this scene. And not only that, but now they're saying that it's toxic masculinity.
To be honest, if they did film this scene just to say fuck you to those guys, that would be hilarious to me. It's like them trolling you. Like, hey, let's make an extended scene where we say fuck you to these people. That's fucking funny as shit.
To ask girls to smile at all in the first place. And this part in this line in the scene just seems off to me too. Like, no one is going to really say shit like this in the real world. And
I
even if
agree.
they
You know
did,
why?
it's
Because
not
you'll get
really the end of the
slapped.
world either. Like how the
That's
social
probably
justice
why, because a
warriors
girl would
behind
slap
this
you.
would have you believe.
Nobody's gonna say this in the real world. Why? Because you'd get slapped. So her reaction might be an overreaction, but it is a proper reaction.
Next is the part where Captain Marvel goes full-on villain because after getting
villain.
asked to smile,
Right.
she offers the biker guy a handshake instead, which she quickly turns into a power play. Captain Marvel
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, considering she's an alien who just crash landed on this planet on her search for Skrulls, and is looking for a way to get around to catch some Skrulls.
lights up her hand with her cosmic powers, which brings the biker to his knees. She then threatens to take his entire hand off if he doesn't give her his jacket and motorcycle.
Yeah, perfect. It's just like, yeah. Funny enough, Billy said, yeah, that's straight up fucking Terminator right there. This is like it might be an homage to the Terminator because it seems that similar. If not, it's a ripoff, but it seems like an homage to the Terminator.
Captain
Exactly
Marvel
like the
robs
jacket
guy
and the
because
biker.
he asked her to smile, God forbid. And this all doesn't sound very heroic or likable at all for Captain Marvel to me. Sounds
Yeah,
like
what the fuck
Captain
is
is
an
a
SJW
bully who
villain?
uses
I don't
her
know.
power to threaten
Yeah,
weaker
his voice is-
beings so she can steal from them. Now just imagine if another hero like, say, Superman, well, what if he was in this kind of position? Needless to say, Superman would never use his powers to
Bullshit. There's where I call bullshit on no bullshit. Bullshit. Superman 2, he goes back to the bar and exacts the revenge on the guy who beat him up when he lost his powers. He goes back and spins him in the chair at fucking top speed. Like, what are you talking about? And then throws him across the counter through the fucking wall and shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yes, let's just imagine if Superman did that. Yeah, we don't have to. He did it in the 80s.
intimidate a
You can
human
watch it
like this.
anytime.
And
To
Supes would
intimidate a
also
human
never
like that.
threaten
Yep,
to
he
tear
done
off
it.
some guy's
Done it.
hand over a comment that he doesn't like. Or how
Maybe wouldn't threaten to. Yeah, I think he might threaten to. He wouldn't really mean it, but if the guy didn't know who he was, maybe he would. I've seen me being. I'm gonna talk as a comic book fan. I've read comic books for a long time. Superman has done shit like that. He has tricked people into thinking that he would do something fucked up to someone to get information from them. You know what I'm saying? He's done that before. Batman does that constantly. Batman does break people's hands. Batman breaks people's faces. You know what I'm saying? Usually they're bad guys, yeah. But if you want to go to people like again, we'll go back to people like Wolverine and the Punisher, that if you go up to them in a bar, a normal person, and say something douchey to them, they're gonna fucking break your teeth. That's just the way it is. She's that kind of character. Later on, she becomes a hero. Maybe, I don't know if she's going to be like that after that, but at that moment in the movie where it's close to the beginning, where she just got to Earth, she's that kind of character.
How about comparing this scene to a different
How did you know I wanted a classic burger?
How did you know I wanted the
These
spicy
fucking
chicken?
bullshit.
different
I get
kind
the
of
free
movie
ad.
with a similar premise, though.
Let's go to a movie with
Terminator
the same
2
premise.
Judgment
I
Day
love
has a
this.
similar
Oh my
scene
God,
to this,
Billy.
actually, but there are some noteworthy and major differences to it, too. In T2, we also see
my
a main
God, the
character
same
travel
point Billy
to
brought up.
and land in the 1990s version of Los Angeles. And then also, like with Captain Marvel, the Terminator initially runs into a biker and decides he wants their clothes and motorcycle.
Yeah.
Terminator's approach is much different than Captain Marvel's, though, and it's done in a way that makes their character still seem like a heroic, well-meaning, and possibly a good guy character.
No, it doesn't.
You see, in Terminator
No, it
2,
doesn't.
the Terminator, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, well, he just simply walks into a biker bar, finds a guy who's the same size as him, and then he politely asks him for his clothes. Sure,
Politely
you could
asks
say
him.
Arnold coming in naked and all ripped up is a little intimidating, but he certainly didn't grab the guy and threaten to take his hand off
What's
for no
the-
reason, like Captain Marvel. No, Arnold just straight up tells
For
the guy,
no
"Give me your
reason?
clothes."
What?
But this prompts
Did he just say for no reason? He explained the reason reason why she did it earlier in the video.
The biker to laugh in his face, and then the biker even starts a conflict when he puts out his cigar right in Arnold's chest.
Yeah, that's it. What? He asked him nicely. The guy burns his chest.
Then, admittedly, Arnold
What?
gets into a much worse and
It's the
much
same
more
thing. The
brutal
guy,
fight
the other
with
guy's
the
being
biker and
rude.
his
What's the
friends
difference
at
between
that
the
bar.
guy being
But
rude and the
since
guy
they
turning a cigar
started
off
the
his
fight
chest?
and they instigate the violence
They
in all
instigate the
instances,
violence.
Arnold still comes off as a possible
I think it's like these people don't live in the real world. I understand you don't equate violence to violence. I'm the same way too, to an extent. I don't think if it's just words, it should just be words. It shouldn't escalate to violence. Fine. But I live in the real world, and in the real world, if you're a douchebag to people on the street, you're gonna get punched. You're gonna get attacked. I've seen it happen a million times in my life. Where I grew up, people get into fights. Walk down the street, one guy says something to another guy, the other guy says, "What?" And next thing you know, they're punching the shit out of each other. You know what I'm saying? This shit happens. You walk up to random people and say certain things, there's a chance you're gonna get struck. All right, every time, no matter who you go up to. You don't know that person. They are a random person. They might strike you just for the fact that you're talking to them. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that. So, for you to think that people can go up to random people and act like douchebags and they're not going to get attacked is dumb. It's going to happen in movies, and movies are trying to be realistic to some extent. Things like that happen in real life. In real life, if that dude just said what he said to her, there is a chance that he's going to get slapped, or maybe the chick will roll her eyes and walk away, or maybe throw a drink in his face. There's a chance those things are going to happen. And it might not even be that slim of a chance,
good guy in the end here. While on the other hand, with Captain Marvel, she's the one who started the violence. She threatened to cut a man's hand off over words, and then she robs the guy afterwards.
Oh my god, she threatened him over words. That never happens in real life. People don't threaten other people over words.
And that's why this deleted scene of hers makes the character look so bad. Not to mention Captain Marvel is a sort of...
Yeah, the character isn't supposed to look good yet. The character doesn't look good yet. The whole point is she's a cold, scroll hunting warrior. That's the point of her character. She's not supposed to look good.
Of pro-social justice warrior villain now, seemingly attacking men for being men. And
she's not attacking men for being men. She's attacking men for being sleazy. For being a sleazy douchebag. She didn't attack a dude for throwing a football in his backyard with his son. You know what I'm saying? She didn't fucking break a guy's wrist because he was walking down the street talking about muscle cars or lifting weights, or it's not what was happening here. It's strange that your impression of men are sleazeballs. That says worse about you, Brooks. What's up with that?
Because her and the movie's producers have some sort of hate boner and are trying to attack supposed toxic masculinity.
Yeah, that might be possible that they're doing that, but if that's who they're marketing to, let them market to them. Fuck it. You made like 10 videos about this. Why? You could have made 2 videos about this and you're done. The movie already came out. Everything you needed to say about the movie is out. Like, I don't understand why people, not just specifically Brooks, just everybody talking about this still. Who gives a shit? You've already said everything you need to say about this. You were right for most of it. Nobody's saying you're wrong about it. Hardly any, well, if they are, it's people who are SJWs, who are obviously going to tell you you're wrong. And your audience obviously believes you. So whoever you're talking to, making this video for, are the same people who agree with you.
Masculinity, which is just their fancy $10 word used to hate on men. Toxic masculinity is just anti-male hatred.
Yes, we know all this.
Make no mistake, guys. Next, let's finally get to that pro-Captain Marvel side I mentioned earlier. IndieWire.com jumped in on this story to white knight Captain Marvel with their article called
Obviously,
Captain Marvel Triggers Fanboys with Extended What No Smile Scene, proving its point. With the subtitle saying...
If it is its point, it does prove its point. I mean, they're right. Outraged male fans protested the clip's criticism of toxic masculinity by revealing some toxic masculinity. You kind of are. That's the funny thing, man. That's what I don't understand. It's this funny game they play. you are proving them right. It's not proving them right that that masculinity is toxic, but you're doing what they're saying is toxic masculinity, and you keep doing it, and you keep making videos about something and keep giving it attention. Forget about it, dude. Let it go. It's not that big of a deal. They wouldn't even be making... See, this article right here wouldn't exist if people made their videos about Captain Marvel at the beginning. This clip came out, nobody paid attention to this clip. This article wouldn't have came out. Because this article specifically came out because people are bitching about it. This is where I'm saying you're causing this. You're giving them attention. You're giving them food. You're feeding the trolls. And it's funny because they think they're the trolls always. But no, you're the ones feeding this. They're not feeding you. You're feeding them. They're just marketing to themselves. And you're feeding them what they need to market back to themselves. You're feeding the rotation of this. If you stopped paying attention to it, or maybe just did 1 or 2 comments, you know, a video or 2 about the news that comes out about something, and that's it, that's all you need. You know what I'm saying? You've made your point. But you keep giving attention, you make 10, 12 videos, you know, that this articles like this are going to come out. Which is probably what he wants, because this is how he gets his views and gets his audience. Same thing, Tim Pool did a video on this, fucking, you know, they're going to do it because that gets them views. I'm sure The Quartering did a video on this too. Wait till I show you how many videos of Quartering
Tested
made
the
on
clip's
Captain Marvel.
criticism
Holy
of
shit.
toxic masculinity by revealing some toxic
But it gets them
masculinity
views,
of their
so
own.
that's what they're gonna do,
Goddamn,
but
sounding like
it's ridiculous.
2014 Anita
It's
Sarkeesian here. They're
it's just
basically
silly at
saying
this point.
everything is toxic masculinity and you have to call it all out everywhere. And in a way,
I can't see how anybody would keep talking about this like this without getting tired of it. Unless it was because it gets them views. You know, that's the only reason I can see that makes sense. I see it. Twitter trolls' outrage is never spent, it seems. Fanboys across Twitter shed many fanboy tears about a deleted scene. Yeah, who cares, right? Fucking... It's an extended and alternate version of a scene, blah, blah, blah. He even asks, what, no smile? Who says that, too? It's so weird. But that's probably why they deleted the scene. It wasn't a good scene, we get it. In this version of the scene, the captain offers him a handshake, demonstrates her iron grip, and asks for his bike, lest he lose his hand. He's still asking, though, right? So, she's still asking. She could have just fucking threw him like 2 blocks away and then and just taken the bike. He quickly relents. It plays a lot like any scene from the Terminator franchise where an outsider to present day uses some aggressive negotiation tactics to get what they need, but with the satisfying feminist twist of Captain Marvel both getting what she needs and putting some toxic masculinity in place.
it's an extended and alternate version of
That
a
is
way
silly.
around Los
That is silly, I agree, but I'm just saying at this point,
Watch how easy it is for me to say.
you're flogging a dead horse over here.
Angeles when a testosterone
And
offering
it's annoying.
for
It's like, I can't believe
find
it.
fem-
And in the end, the movie's not that bad. Like, it's a decent film. It's not the best of the Marvel films, obviously. It might be the worst of the Marvel films. But all of the Marvel films are good. The worst of the Marvel films before Captain Marvel came out was still a good movie. So, Captain Marvel is still a pretty decent movie. It's not great. My biggest gripe about it is it's kind of boring in the middle section. Like, the beginning starts off kind of interesting, the middle gets kind of boring, and then the end is interesting and exciting and shit. But the middle has a lot of talk and not too much action. It gets kind of boring, especially in comparison to other Marvel films that tend to break up the action, give you action story, you know, and break it up in a good way that keeps you up on the edge of your seat the whole time. I thought I kind of placed it similarly to Black Panther. I thought Black Panther was the same thing. I liked the beginning, I liked the end, the middle was kind of boring to me. Same thing. Same structure, but these are origin stories. So origin stories are going to be kind of boring. You have to explain a lot and let the hero grow into becoming a hero. I get it. So, you know, you could see by the sequel what happens. What happened? Terminator. Yeah, Billy. He brought up Terminator.
twist of Captain Marvel, both getting what she needs. Also,
He
but as
brought
I
up
went over before,
the argument Billy brings up to say that the Captain Marvel movie is not that big of a deal and she's not a villain is the same argument Brooks brings up to say that she's a villain. It's like, what? No.
in detail, the presentation of Terminator is much better and still possibly heroic. Not to
Still
mention,
possibly... How is it heroic in any way? How is the scene in Terminator at all heroic? What? Oh my god.
either way though, it's pretty clear they don't want Captain Marvel to be a villain or anti.
And how is And how is Captain Marvel not being heroic at that moment? Two women who wish they could do that in those situations. She's to those people, she's being heroic. She might not be heroic to you. You're a dude. You're never in that situation. At least I guess you're never in that. I'm in that situation. I've been in that situation. And maybe not somebody being sleazy and hitting on me, but I've been in that situation where some random dude comes up to me and acts like a douchebag, you know, and I gotta tell him to back the fuck up, you know, like I've been in that situation a million times. Shit, I've been in parties where people touched my face out of nowhere, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what, you touching my face? Like, don't fucking touch me, you know. I've been in places where I've been with an ex-girlfriend, but you know, they were my girlfriend at the time, and somebody comes up and starts hitting on her right in front of me while I'm holding her hand and shit. And then I have to beef that guy out. That's happened.
Hero, even though this deleted
But you know,
scene
nobody
and
would
other
call
things
me a
indicate
villain for
otherwise.
doing that, right?
Fortunately
Like-
for IndieWire, they just offer a loose mentioning of Captain Marvel being like Terminator, and without much detail, that sounds kind of okay. But as I explained extensively already, the
sounds
Terminator
kind of okay.
comparison isn't a good look for Captain Marvel. Then there's the ways this guy, the
Why
writer,
not? It's actually pretty similar to Terminator, as I explained. She's part of an evil army, basically, right? And then turns good. That's kind of Terminator and Terminator 2 together. That's kind of what happens.
many Marvel and superhero fans, calling us trolls and making fun of our fanboy tears.
Oh, I'm calling you trolls. Oh, but you kind of are trolls now. Like, I've seen you guys, Brooks too. I've seen Brooke troll people and laugh about it. Like, what? You are a troll, dude. And you know you're a troll. You like being a troll. You laugh about it. Most of the people who are complaining about this are part of that culture of trolling people and trolling the SJWs and laughing about that kind of stuff. I do it too, you know. I do the same thing. I troll SJWs sometimes. I laugh at that shit. It's alright. They're stupid. We get it.
And those are just ways the writer is trying to demean our character. It's almost an ad hominem, being used to make light of our complaints. The thing is, though, we're not alone on this at all. Many have thought the same kinds of things about Captain Marvel, and that includes casual fans and normies too. So I guess IndieWire wants to pretend it's just fanboys and their is only getting started too. The way he describes the biker from Captain Marvel's deleted scene.
Yeah, I don't think any of the people complaining, maybe they might be Marvel fanboys, but I don't think they're Captain Marvel fanboys. I don't think any of them were fans of Captain Marvel before the movie came out.
It's a little unfair too.
I'm sure some were. I was a fan of Captain Marvel since I was a little kid. She was huge in the X-Men when Rogue stole her powers. Then she became binary and was fucking off in space with Cyclops' dad. That was in the 80s when I first started collecting comics, and that was a huge moment for me. And I liked her character. I liked her journey, and she was a cool character. And the movie is more of the modern take on her, which I don't mind. The movie could have been better, but it's not great. I wish it was more of the 70s and 80s Captain Marvel before she lost her powers to Rogue, but either way, like, she was a cool character. I always liked her. I always thought she was one of my favorite female superheroes in Marvel Comics, and I like that she's in the Marvel MCU.
Sure, the guy was being a cocky jerk, but that's not always bad or evil or so-called
But I don't think these other guys are fans of hers or ever were.
toxic masculinity. In fact, another Marvel character, Iron Man, acts this way all the time. And for him, it comes off as lighthearted, sarcastic, and all in good fun. But now, all because the biker in Captain Marvel asks for a smile, he's some sort of...
Yeah, but I also see Iron Man also being the kind of guy who would grab a dude by the wrist and say that he'd blow his wrist off if he acted a certain way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see it happen in the movies because nobody's going to run up to a big tin suit and act like a douchebag to it. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that it can crush their face. But let's say a guy was drunk or something and thought fucking Iron Man, he could take on Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? And he runs up and starts being an asshole to Iron Man. You don't think Iron Man's going to grab him and fucking maybe fly him up to fucking the top of a mountain and leave him there? Like, of course he is. He might even knock him out. He might even do like a pulse thing that knocks him out. You know?
of testosterone-addled jerk who catcalled her. Please. The guy offered her a ride, he wanted to help. Then he asked for a smile. And sure, that second part is borderline offensive, but it hardly warrants Captain Marvel's overreaction.
Oh, no, it's an overreaction. That's the point.
Because someone asked you to smile, then you've got issues, not him.
Yeah.
But regardless, IndieWire says Captain Marvel...
I don't think it's fully that she has issues. Well, she does have issues. She's brainwashed. She's brainwashed by a race who thinks they are superior to other races in the galaxy and is at war with another race. And so she thinks she's one of them. So she looks at humans as lesser beings. You know, this lesser being is coming up to him and asking her to smile. You're like, oh, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here, you know? Like, flick them and shit.
Masculinity in its place, thus showing that they think anything male is toxic.
It does make sense, but I understand. I'm not saying that it's not SJW to put it in there and be toxic masculinity, whatever. But I'm saying it makes sense to her character. That's who her character is.
Basically, they hate men. So of course, certain outraged male viewers took to Twitter to
they hate men.
Vent their own toxic masculinity.
If they hate men, why is Samuel Jackson a big part of the movie and a good part of the movie?
In solidarity with the biker dude and his bruised hand. One tweet read, "Man, it is
Phil Coulson too.
So empowering to watch a woman with superpowers physically hurt and then threaten to break a man's hand and steal his motorcycle and jacket because he said something rude to her. So empowering. Empowerment." Another, apparently upset by his perceived notion that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is, rather than being...
I don't want to hear him say. Being a studiously apolitical corporate juggernaut, a mouthpiece for left-wing activists, added, "We'll get a deleted scene from Endgame where the Hulk is getting ready to go liberate Palestine when Captain America is beating up protesters outside of Planned Parenthood." What? That's silly.
Studiously apolitical corporate juggernaut, Captain Marvel. Fascinating that a certain very secure social media...
Alright, we get the idea. But yeah, see, look how many videos did he do on that? Holy shit! Look at this. Let's see the quartering. The quartering. Captain Marvel. Look, it even autofills. You just write the quartering, and it's the third one. Holy shit! The quartering. Captain Marvel's horrible deleted scene. Brie Larson is a villain. He's just, all three. Look, all four people we've seen that say the same thing. No bullshit. Brie Larson is a villain. Tim Pool, Brie Larson is a villain. Tony Salads, who gives a shit, Brie Larson is a villain. And fucking the quartering, Brie Larson is a villain. They all see it the same way? How is she a villain? Holy shit. She totally always in this scene. Oh my god. Let's watch a little bit of this too. Let's see what he says.
Just when I was out.
Oh my god.
Just when I was out.
Just when you were
they
out.
Pulled me
so
back
he understands
now,
that he's made way too many fucking videos on this.
I have profited decently off the back of
there you go.
Horrible
profited.
movie.
Yeah, see, he's
Marvel,
profited off
and
Captain
worst
Marvel.
person, Brie Larson, but I wanted to take a break.
I can't
from it.
understand.
Many of my viewers obviously were sick of it, and
God.
it was kind of becoming a stale meme. And there have been many smaller stories that have come out since that I've just ignored because, well, I'm already known as the guy who made 1,000 videos about Brie Larson. By the way, I appreciate all of your support. Always remember to remembering to like and share the videos. Aiming to
but yeah, he made too many
take on, get an exclusive first look at Brie. We're going to see he's actually going to have the context or not, so I'll do my best to explain it. A man on a motorcycle rides up to Captain Marvel, proclaims, "Nice scuba suit." And then he proceeds to be kind of a jerk.
Kind of a jerk. It's
bad
all these guys
now,
who say admit that he's being a jerk to a woman who's not a hero yet on Earth.
That person
who's like a soldier from another planet.
What Captain Marvel does to this character, but I just see a villain. I see Captain Marvel written as a villain here. Let's take a look at
not written as a hero. She's not supposed to be a
most
hero.
Toxic female.
I don't even know if this is. I wouldn't even call this villainous. I just call this kind of badass, like some dude, like Han Solo kind of character. Doesn't give a shit.
I have no doubt that there are
they're gonna
complete
pop you in the
morons
lip,
out there like this, of course, but we know that this is written in under the guise of her feminist agenda. The old have a smile. People are mad.
Yes, it
that
is.
Brie
But if
Larson
you watch a
doesn't
movie, you're
smile.
in the movie.
Well,
So within the
I
context
mean,
of the movie, it makes
I think
sense.
everybody
and
should
it's
smile
right
now
for
and
the character
again.
to do that.
But
It makes sense.
as you see, they're setting this
It's
guy
written
up
correctly.
to be deserving of what Captain Marvel does to him.
I don't know if Billy, if
something
you're still
that
around,
I
jump
don't
in, man.
think he deserved.
I don't know if you
think maybe a witty remark, a witty retort, using our words,
Yeah.
would probably have done
Marino,
that, but that
great.
wasn't enough for Brie Larson. And
Hold on. Great point, Marino. It's funny. Hold on. Yeah, interesting that they say Brie Larson and not the character's name. That is very interesting. That is super interesting. It shows a lot about what they've, what they're really complaining about.
what
The
we're
actress,
about to
not
watch
the
is
character.
why I'm convinced they cut this, because they knew people already didn't like Captain Marvel. This would have just made her character an outright villain.
No, it wouldn't have. It would still be the same character. She blows up a jukebox later on just to show Samuel Jackson her powers. In a bar that's like, has people in it. She beats up an old lady. She fights a Skrull in a loaded subway when she didn't have to do
You're
that.
gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return,
Swarmy, swarthy, physically hurt the man, steal his motorcycle and his jacket,
Yeah,
committing
that's-
several crimes.
Yeah, but to her,
what?
that doesn't mean a big deal.
Prove
What
a
did
point?
what does she care about
This is
Earth
how a
law?
villain
She's not
would
from
be.
Earth.
Imagine a
I mean,
man
she
doing
is,
this
but
to a woman
to
in
her
film. That person
knowledge,
would
she's not from Earth.
automatically have been
She's there as a
villain. The fact that it's
warrior
Brie
for the
Larson
Kree. What does she give a shit about
means
Earth law?
It's celebrated. Now, again, obviously everyone knows, who cares, no big deal. It's just a stupid movie.
Exactly,
Except my
dude.
detractors who think I spend my days and nights dreaming of Brie
So
Larson.
he knows. He's
no,
self-aware
in
of
fact,
this.
I'm not. I
just-
laugh at her expense. I laugh at
He's
what
making-
Marvel
he's
films
doing
have
it for the views,
become,
like he said
and
earlier.
I laugh at how people are celebrating. This is not how a hero would act.
No. All right. First off, yeah, people are celebrating. The people who are celebrating are girls who want to be able to do something like that when guys are sleazy to them. That's who's celebrating it, dude. And those are the people who call it toxic masculinity. I get, we've been through this so many times with the feminism and the SJW shit. It's getting old. Fuck it. The people who you are trying to change the minds of, they're not going to change their minds. You're not going to change their minds. The same thing happens over and over again, right? They're just going to call you a misogynist. They aren't going to change your mind. You're not going to start making videos in opposite of this and say, oh, toxic masculinity is true. You're not going to do that. So it's pointless. This has been going on for years and nobody's growing out of this. It's like it's become this lull on YouTube of people just constantly bitching about the same thing over and over. It's not changing anything. These movies are marketed for those people. Let it be. That's what capitalism is. That's what the free market is. If they want to market to these people, let them. If they make enough money to continue making movies marketed to those people, then let them have it. Let those people enjoy that and have that. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like it, you don't need to partake in it. And then in the end, if they market towards those people and there's not enough of those people to fund that marketing, they're going to stop marketing to those people. And then you don't have to worry about it. But if you keep giving it attention, now you're going to get people who... I know it's stupid. I know it's so stupid when people say, go see Captain Marvel because it needs to make money because it's for the little girls to grow up and have somebody to look up to. It's important. Even if you don't like the movie, it's an important movie. So you have to go see it. I understand that's retarded. But in the end, it's people like this who are bitching about these things and proving their points to them that are making that possible more and more, making it be that, yeah, I'm going to go see this movie because it's a girl power movie and it's important. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be more people that do that now because they're going to see all this shit. And it's like the Streisand effect. The more you bitch about something, obviously, the more attention you're going to give it. And now more people are going to go see it just because they want to see, wait, what? What are people bitching on the internet for? And one more point I want to make is the general populace doesn't give a shit about this. They don't care about YouTube videos. They don't care about SJWs or anti-SJWs. In fact, The general populace doesn't even know what the fuck that is. And they'll go see this movie and like it. You know what I'm saying? And think, yeah, it was a pretty decent movie, and not ever even think about the SJW stuff in it. And never even notice it. You know what I'm saying? That's the general population. And Marvel's so huge, that's what happens. That's why this movie did good. No matter how many people are saying, I'm not going to go see this movie because they're not marketing it towards me. Right. Don't go see the movie because it's not marketed towards you. That's perfectly fine. That's your choice. You know? I know it's not totally marketed towards me. I went to go see it. I know it's marketed towards, they marketed it towards girls, you know, women, to go see it and be like, yeah, girl superhero, we're going to go see this. I still went to see it, you know, because I like Marvel in general. So I'll see these outside movies that I'm not going to like as well, and it's not marketed towards me, but I'll see them because I'll have some enjoyment out of it.
And it would appear that they're basically trying to rip off the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator 2 scene here. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't think we would notice.
What, no smile?
Alright, well, we get the idea with quartering too. He's actually self-aware that he's made too many videos on this. But yeah, the quartering, look at this. I see 1, 2, 3. Wait, hold on. Well, let's read the titles too. Captain Marvel's horrible. Oh, okay, we saw that one already. Breaking news: Captain Marvel worst reviewed Marvel in history. Yeah. But also, again, how many of that is people legitimately not liking the movie, and how many of that, as we've noticed from me arguing this with people, a lot of them didn't see the movie. These guys were all arguing about this deleted scene without seeing the movie and knowing the context where that would lie within the movie. If it's a deleted scene, it was in a part of the movie. And I think David brought up that the movie was, that he saw the movie like a screening of it before the movie came out, and that was in the movie. He saw it in the movie and doesn't really know what it's like without the movie, and he didn't even, you know, think about her being a villain. It still made sense within the whole movie that he saw. Totally made sense. Disney buying Captain Marvel tickets. I don't know. I really don't believe that. That doesn't make sense. Why would you, if you buy your own tickets? That's not good sales. Like what? And 750 million to break even. Sales fall hard. That was 2 months ago. I know the movie did well and made it way more than its money back. Avengers cast savagely roast Brie Larson and her lies about doing her own stunts. That's pretty funny. So you can make a video about that. That's funny. It's another one. No. Gamers from Mars. The quartering. Brie Larson totally doesn't hate white men. Captain Marvel isn't for whites, though. Who cares? But that's what she says. What she says doesn't matter. She's an actress. She's not the person who made the movie. Like, what she says has nothing to do, outside of the movie, has nothing to do with the movie. Captain Marvel saved me, a toxic male. All hail Queen Brie. What? Well, probably because he made so much money off of making these videos about her. Can't believe you're still down. Quartering. Brie Larson barely in Avengers Endgame. Critics salty. Captain Marvel only gets 15 minutes on camera. Is that really something to make a video on? Like, seriously? It's crazy that people watch it. Look at these, 205k views, 615k views. 2 months. So this is a month after that one. Oh, you can see it going down. But 1 month ago, 450k views. To hear this guy, to hear the quartering 1 month ago, talk about a movie that came out 5 months ago. Oh no, well, the Endgame, but who cares that somebody bitched about that? Oh my god. I think that's it. Oh no, there's way more. Disney and Avengers cast upset with Brie Larson and Captain Marvel recast incoming? That would be stupid, and I really doubt they're recasting her, since the movie did well. I don't believe it. Captain Marvel reviews. It stinks. Boring, selfish, and flawed. I don't know about all those. There was a very a boring gap in it, which I said before. The middle was kind of boring. But it didn't kill the whole movie or anything. Selfish? Nah, I don't know. I don't know about that. That's kind of a weird one. And flawed? I don't know where the flaws are. I didn't find it to be any less flawed than any of the other Marvel movies. With some of the other Marvel movies. Captain Marvel plummets 100 million in projection. Everything is fine. That was 3 months ago. Marvel actors, please shut up. Damn. Captain Marvel damage control and disturbing comments exposed. Wow, look at this. It's still going. Captain Marvel trailer reaction. Brie Larson bored at the grocery store. Wow, what the fuck? Captain Marvel director confirms it's a feminist film and everyone clapped. Okay. Well, if it's a feminist film, it's a feminist film. Let them. Marvel films they make characters for all kinds of people and they market it towards different kinds of people. In fact, Captain Marvel was created in the 70s at a time where Marvel was trying to capitalize and on women's lib being a huge thing at the time, which was, feminist. It was being a huge thing at the time. And Marvel was like, hey, this is a perfect time to market towards women and try to double our fucking audience. So they made Captain Marvel, Spider-Woman, She-Hulk, all these characters came into play because they were trying to capture the female market. And on top of that, they were trying to capture the feminist market who were looking for strong women that were superheroes, Obviously, they were hits for a little while and then faded away as the whole feminist thing was dying out going into the 80s. But 50,000 bad Captain Marvel reviews deleted and YouTube hiding videos on Brie Larson. Oh no. The quartering. Bad Captain Marvel reviews. Government intervention demanded. Look at this. Alright, I can't keep going, right? Look at this. More. Yo, I can't believe it. Like, I knew he made a lot of videos on this. But it's insane to go through it and actually see how many videos he did on this. Oh my god. Even things to do with Endgame has Brie Larson on the front. Like, she's a minor character in Endgame. And the only reason they are making fun of and mocking or making statements about her being a minor character in it is because themselves assumed she was going to be a bigger character in Endgame. They assumed that they were like, oh, this shit's so SJW, and after seeing Captain Marvel, these feminists are totally going to make her be the one who just comes in and defeats Thanos. I know it's going to happen. And then the movie comes out and she plays a very minor role in it. What? You know what I'm saying? You're the ones bringing that up. Yeah, it's still going. I am done with that. I can't believe it. Alright, but I'm pretty much done with this stream. Just wanted to have some fun and just bullshit for a while. You can't get in the live stream chat. What the fuck? Oh, see, I'd like to talk to Billy for a while on stream. Where's he at? Why can't you get in here? Go into another channel and I'll drag you in. Oh, it's because you're a mod. Maybe it's only for T-mods. But just go into any other one and I'll drag you in, dude. Who's this? Oh, shit. I just... yeah, let me wait on Billy. I don't know if you can hear me, but... That was a while ago. Oh, man, was that like an hour ago? How long ago was that? How long ago? Do you guys know how long ago he typed that in there? What was the last message I did? I don't know if he's still around. Billy, where are you? Jump in any chat. Somebody's telling me they got banned from my thing. Oh my god. Well,
hello.
Oh, there you are. All right.
I cannot hear you, Alf.
How did you get in here? I didn't drag you.
There you are. You're low.
Oh, because you're listening to it. Yeah, I got different mics set up for Discord and what I'm recording.
I don't know what's going on.
How did you get in here?
You dragged me in, no?
No, I didn't.
I clicked main voice chat, bro, and then
what?
I was in.
Somebody else did it. Somebody else dragged you in.
It's locked. Look at it. Like, I don't know. For me, it has a lock symbol.
Yeah, I guess only T-mods come in here, but somebody else dragged you in for me. I guess that's listening.
Damn, nigga. I'm not top tier yet. What the fuck?
Wow! Bow before your master. Shit, yeah, but did you see me scrolling through how many videos the quartering did on Captain Marvel? That's insane. There's got to be over like 40.
Bro, and he's like sitting there saying,
holy shit,
how he's done so many on them, and his fans are starting to get sick of it, but he's obviously not.
Yeah, but he gets money and views. He said, I can't even tell you how much money I've made off of it. Like, yeah. I can understand that then, but at least, we know.
No wonder he's pissed at his fans. They're like, wait, You don't want me to keep making more money off this shit? I want to keep making more money off this. You guys don't want to keep hearing about it?
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
guess in that sense, I can't blame them too much, but at least be honest about it and be like, look, I'm tired of covering this. You know, this ain't that bad. Who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Because it's just ridiculous to complain about. I don't know.
These people are lame, bro. They're the fucking biggest whining bitches ever. Do you know why the article brought up Terminator? Because it's exactly like you're supposed to think of Terminator when you watch that scene.
It's a similar scene. That's what I was saying when we were watching. I was like, is that like an homage to the Terminator? Because if not, it's a ripoff. I think it's an homage. Yeah.
Like, why is the first thing I went to Terminator?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I didn't see this movie. I didn't read any articles about this shit. Why was the first thing Terminator? Because it was a fucking good guy doing a bad thing.
That's why you thought of Terminator, because it's the.
Then this guy argues with me for 2 fucking days, bro, about, oh well, you know, he's no one knew. Guess what? Trailer first 50 seconds. You know, two machines. You saw that? Did you watch the trailer? Like,
no, but I remember it. I remember that trailer.
Just
that was
go
a
watch
trailer
it.
in the theaters. No, but I remember that trailer. I've seen that trailer a million times.
Go through this progression of how, like, oh, it's the same fucking guy, but it's not, and he's good now. Like, that's the whole trailer.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. These fucking people are stupid.
Come with me if you want to live.
And they gotta keep changing the goalposts after that. Once I prove every time I prove my point, they gotta move to a new goalpost. It's so fucking.
Oh my god! And then I busted him on that when he was saying, "Yeah, but Arnold Schwarzenegger was a bad guy in the first movie." And I was like, well,
who cares?
No, but my point was, the Terminators were bad guys in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Kree were bad guys in the earlier series before Captain Marvel, you know, in the Marvel universe.
The Terminators were good guys before they learned to think for themselves, and then they became bad guys.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
You want to we can keep going back as far as we want.
It's insane. We can bring it back to Terminator with Sarah Connor. You think what would you think happened if Sarah Connor was in the middle of fighting a Terminator on like a break though, like she got away and she's on a break, and some dude comes up to her at a bar and says, "Hey, I bought a smile." What do you think Sarah Connor's gonna do? You think she's gonna just walk away and be like, "Oh, and walk away"? No, she's gonna probably butt him with the back of a shotgun or something, right?
Why did he change my shit? That's so random. Yeah, but these people are nuts, bro. And then he's trying to say how, like, because there was a bad machine in the first movie, that means that the machine was going to be bad in this one. And it's just like,
what?
Why? It says it right there. And then he's like, nobody knew about trailers. What? We all went to the theater that summer on a whim that there may be a sequel to Terminator.
He said he was Australian.
Nobody had a
Did they not have TV in Australia in 1991? Did they not have TVs back then?
Nobody had a clue Terminator 2 was coming out. We all just
tell me Terminator. That trailer for Terminator 2 was all over TV before that movie came out. Like, you couldn't watch TV and not watch the trailer.
Trailers for every movie are all over TV every fucking day.
But Terminator was even more so. Terminator was like the biggest movie of that summer. You know what I'm saying? So that was definitely all over the place. Guns N' Roses had a music video for the movie before the movie came out that MTV played constantly, right? You Could Be Mine. Remember that?
Yeah, of course, but it's so fucking.
And that had clips of the movie of Arnold being a hero in it, you know, like in the movie.
But then I don't understand their point. Like, what is their point they're trying to make? That she's just not a good guy.
Yeah, that the scene makes her into that she's really a villain, and that's why people don't like her as a hero, because she's.
They don't know about story arcs. They don't know anything about character arcs.
Hero's journey. No, none of that exists.
No, and Spider-Man didn't go through the same exact thing, except for he didn't punch the guy.
Yeah, and because she hurt a guy's wrist and stole his bike, her saving the entire planet doesn't matter anymore. She's a villain. You know what I'm saying? There's no scales here. You know, you do a tiny thing wrong, you can't be a hero now. Like, no matter how good you
can
are.
If you're all those other people.
You can, yeah, except Captain Marvel. She can't be a hero.
Yeah, apparently them, like, you know, everyone knew they were a good guy from the beginning, so it doesn't matter what they did.
I like how nobody brings up Wolverine. Like, what? Wolverine's like the hero, and he punches people like random strangers all the time. And he don't give a shit about anybody, dude. He just walk up to people and punch them in the nose. What are you talking about? And he's still the hero.
But who cares if you thought Arnold was going to be a bad guy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, your assumptions is your own fault. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's and but then he tried to play it off like everyone thought this when it was just him.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean everyone thought this?
Sorry you live in another country, but it's an American film that was made
Yeah,
for
I'm sorry you're an idiot
Americans.
that didn't remember the trailer
And-
and a pothead 40 years after the fact did.
Yeah, and I perfectly remember it being a huge deal, but when they announced a second Terminator coming
Dude,
out,
it's one of the biggest movies ever.
Yeah,
and
I
then
remember
the same
being a
director
huge
goes
deal.
and tops himself by doing another one of the biggest movies ever, like 10 years later.
but I remember it being
Or
a
like
huge
5 years
deal of
later.
people being like, "Oh my God, is he gonna play a villain?" Because he hadn't played a villain in so long. It'd been like 8 years since the last Terminator, more than 8 years, right? No, yeah, 84. Yeah, so it'd been like 7 years, and he'd only been playing heroes.
It's funny. We
He's
argue
known
with this
as a
guy,
hero
but it
now.
started with Patrick. That was crazy.
Mhm. And then it came out, specifically the first detail I remember coming out about Terminator 2 was that he was going to play a hero and he was going to be a
Well,
good
it's
Terminator.
50 seconds into the trailer. you
Yeah, and then
realize
the
he's
trailer
an idiot.
came out and you're like, "Oh yeah, there it is."
And then in the movie, you get that first scene, but he's like, I don't know, like I don't get what the guy said that he. I
don't remember, but
justified
doesn't
how
it-
he was like, "Yo, give me your bike and your fucking jacket." So the guy burned him with a cigar,
Yeah.
and then Arnold threw him through a fucking like. His friend came up behind him. Arnold fucking blasts him, blasts the guy, stabs his dude friend through the fucking shoulder, and he's stuck to the pool table.
hmm
Then he throws the guy onto the fucking grill, and the guy chucks the keys at him. He's like, "Yeah, here, take
yeah.
it." So like, what? Arnold started that shit. He's like, "Run your fucking shit."
Yeah, run your shit.
So how is Arnold justified anyway?
No.
But like, no one was rooting against Arnold in that scene. You watch that scene,
Oh, because this is
and
why.
you're rooting for Arnold,
This
and
is-
and apparently you're not supposed to know he's a good guy.
No, this
but
is
why
how
are
you.
rooting for him?
This is how you know, because he's justified. Because he's not the one who took it to violence, the guy with the cigars. So they're saying you can go into a bar and
Yeah.
just yell into someone's face, "You fucking faggot bitch, God, blah blah," and just call them every fucking thing in the book, and that guy's gonna be the villain for going into violence.
Yeah, he may be like, he didn't start the fucking violence. That's fine.
Yeah.
But no one's saying that that's what a villain is.
Yeah.
A villain is something way more specific.
Does he
and
ask him
grander.
politely in the no bullshit video? Brooke says that Arnold asked him politely for his jacket.
Yeah, he's like, I need your clothes and your motorcycle or whatever the fuck.
But he doesn't
And
say
he's like-
please.
They
It's
start
not
laughing at him, and he fucking burns him with a cigar
Yeah.
in his chest.
I wouldn't
'cause
call
he's
that
naked.
polite though. That's just weird.
He's
way to put
completely
it.
naked when he walks in, because he
Mhm.
fucking
Yeah.
he comes through his
Your
time.
jacket and
dude.
your clothes and your motorcycle.
And then he robbed the guy for his fucking shotgun and glasses.
Yeah.
But and then he said the first thing he says to fucking what's his face is "get down."
Mhm.
He's like, "Get down," and he's like, he fucking saves him. So like that's the
Yeah.
first scene, second scene he's in, he's already the hero.
Isn't it described at the beginning that he was sent back to protect John Connor? Or do you
That's
not find out
possible.
until he says it? I for some reason I remember
I don't
saying
remember,
it right at the
but
beginning of the movie. Like, the beginning of
That
the movie
could
always
be.
has the intro in the future and they're doing the war.
Yeah, I
thing,
know
you
what you're talking about. Yeah, they have that typed out like little intro, right? Usually.
Yeah, usually. So I feel like it was explained right from the beginning of the movie that he's sent back to protect.
It's possible. Even if it's not, though, it doesn't matter. The second scene he's in, he's saving the fucking kid. So he's the hero right away in the movie. It has no bearing on anything. That actually, him not being a hero right away is proving your point. Like that she's not a hero right away.
yeah, exactly.
It's the story of her becoming a hero. So yeah, she's promoted as a hero because at the end of the movie she's
She's
the
a
hero.
Yeah, it's her origin story of how she becomes a hero.
Yeah, it's like I don't get it.
Yeah,
man.
it's weird.
I just don't fucking get it. Like, is Rick still the hero of The Walking Dead? He's killed people.
Yeah, he's made.
He's
them
done bad
fucked up
shit.
Yeah, he's still the hero.
No, everyone hates Rick, I'm sure.
Is that Ant-Man's a fucking criminal? He's a fucking burglar, like a high-tech burglar, and breaks into high-rich people's houses and steals shit. Before he becomes Ant-Man by stealing the Ant-Man armor. By breaking into the original Ant-Man's fucking house and stealing
Yeah, but
the
apparently you
Ant-Man
don't know Ant-Man's a hero beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how he becomes
I
Ant-Man.
guess. I guess people think he's a villain.
Yeah, I guess he can't be a hero now, no matter what he does.
Just like Arnold. Because if that's the argument, then it makes no sense because they're all promoted as superheroes, right?
Doctor Strange was a self-centered, pompous prick before he fucking lost the use of his hands and then, became a fucking sorcerer supreme.
Is he like?
I
all
think
those
they're all
movies
kind
are
of
promoted as heroes.
Yeah,
so
I think
if
all
they
those
do anything
movies,
bad, like that's it. Their argument is squashed right there. They can't say shit about it.
Oh, I love in No Bullshit's video. He goes, "Now imagine if Superman did something like this in a movie," and I was like, "He did." Superman.
Yeah, you should just do one of your quick react videos with like little clips from
little
shit.
clips. Yeah, maybe I'll clip this out.
Maybe
just
for the
to do
Superman
that.
clip.
Yeah, I might do that.
Just
God.
everything is a clip. Dude, I couldn't find a Seinfeld clip one day recently when I wanted to make put it in the video. I forgot what scene it was,
But it's funny because
Whatever.
I think most Marvel heroes aren't heroes right away and do shady shit before they become heroes. I think most of them are like
yeah,
that.
what like
Iron Man, like I said, Iron Man used to sell weapons to terrorists and shit.
But they're making it also like they didn't know this guy was like some criminal or something, and like you can't tell by the way he's dressed, and like, but where is there proof that that's put it in there to be like a feminist thing?
There really
What's their
is, and
proof?
I mean, I think they said that the person who wrote the story said that it is a feminist story. That's about as far as it goes. But
No,
I mean,
not the story. That scene.
I don't know specifically that scene if that's what it was.
Okay, so how do they know?
Oh, I don't know. No Bullshit
They
specifically
don't.
said.
That's my point. They don't know shit. They
No
don't
Bullshit
know anything.
specifically said
they don't know
that
why that scene was.
It was put in there
taken out or
to
anything.
say "fuck you" to the people who are complaining about her not
And
smiling
isn't
enough. in the
every
movie?
movie with a
do they know that?
woman hero? Doesn't she always beat up a dude for some reason? Like,
I mean, not
this is nothing
always, but
new.
somewhat. I remember in Aliens, the tough, like, lesbian Puerto Rican chick, right? She would get rough with the dudes when they talked to her in ways she didn't like, right? She would, like, push them up against walls and shit or grab them by the neck or something.
Yeah, that's always been a trope in movies. What's the problem? All of a sudden, it's a
That's the
problem.
problem. That's what
All
I'm
of a sudden,
talking
it's
about.
feminist propaganda. Like, a strong chick in a movie always beats up a dude.
Sarah
She's
Connor, too,
How
right?
else is she gonna prove that she's tough?
Sarah Connor,
I mean-
she beats up people, too. She beats up dudes.
Yeah, she beats the shit out of the fucking guy who
doctor.
runs the
doctor.
psych ward
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
in. Fucking breaks his nose with a
Linda
knife.
Carter choked dudes. Yeah, Linda Carter choked dudes. Yeah, that's true, man. 70s, man. I'm telling you. Linda Carter choked out some dudes. For sure. The Bionic Woman choked out some dudes.
Guys
too,
that
for
she
sure.
probably shouldn't have. I'm
Jamie
sure she did it
Summers.
at least once. Come on. Give me a break. These people are so fucking gay, bro.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just-
that's the way to describe
And
gayer than
like
gay
I
people.
said, it's not even a big deal if they made one or two videos about this movie and then moved on because they basically said all that needed to be said in one video, probably.
But did they, or
But-
did they say more than needed to be said? Like,
In one video,
probably
I would
said way
say,
more
yeah,
than ever
maybe,
needed to be
but at least one video is like you've said enough, right? Or more than needs to be said. One video's fine. Whatever.
what I mean by that is they're complaining
Two
about
videos.
shit they have no reason.
Yeah, and even two videos is fine on the movie. But after that, all's been said. I mean, like if you watch the video we were just watching, they're saying the same things they said about the movie in general for like the last 4 months. So it's like
just about the hating her.
Yeah. Well, Marino brought up that good
feminism
point that
shit.
it's
Yeah,
funny
they
how
don't
these guys
mention
say
the
Brie
name.
Larson and not Captain Marvel or Carol
Yeah.
Danvers, which is the character's name, Carol Danvers.
Yeah, and Patrick was talking about like, oh, like you're promoting the shitty person.
You're
Like,
promoting the shitty. No, I'm promoting a decent movie. and in
I'm not
general, you're not promoting
anything.
anything. You're not
Saying you're
promoting
a
anything.
faggot.
It's a
Like,
decent movie to
I'm
me. I would
saying
tell
you're a
anybody that hasn't seen it to check it out and have an open mind about it. It's not a terrible movie. It's not a great movie either. I'm not going to say that because it definitely isn't. But it's still a decent movie. It's not made shittily. It's edited well. It's got good pacing, except for the middle area. There is a middle area that's boring, but it's an origin story, so you kind of have to expect that it's going to have
Look,
a bit more story.
I don't watch these
You're not even
movies,
into these now.
But
No,
I'm
but
not
it's funny.
making any claims about them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this seems to me just like that from that movie that I had no problem with. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say here. And all of a sudden we have problems with it because we think there's an agenda. Like,
Yeah, there's an agenda. No, but even if there
is
was,
an agenda,
like I'm saying, even if there was, who cares?
doesn't
That's
matter.
it's funny because these guys always preach about capitalism, right? But that's capitalism. Let
Right,
them
yeah, they're
market
all
to who
nuts,
they
right?
want to market to. If it doesn't work, they'll
No
stop.
bullshit. What the fuck
Yeah.
is an SJW villain?
An SJW villain? I don't know. I guess a villain made by
You there,
SJWs. Oops, I forgot about the push to talk. I thought the stream was hearing me and you weren't.
Yeah, I was
I
waiting
didn't
for you to
pick that up.
respond a couple of times there.
I was saying, what the hell is an anti-SJ... Well, what the hell is an SJW villain? I guess a villain that would be
Yeah.
created by SJWs, like the perfect toxic male or whatever. Oh, no, but I'm saying she was an SJW villain.
No,
So-
they said that she became an SJW villain
I don't
by
know.
doing that.
First
So
off,
almost
like-
an SJW
Like, I'm
villain.
going to say what she did was a bit extreme, but it's not villainous. Like, I
Yeah.
don't see that as being villainous. I see
It was
that as being a
but
bit
she knew he
extreme.
wanted to fuck her and was trying to be
Yeah.
a dick about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, he was being
and wasn't
sleazy. She
taking
didn't
the
like it.
hints.
And,
So-
you got to
Yeah,
expect
no
that.
one's saying it's right to beat up a dude who hits on you and doesn't touch you. No one's saying that.
Yeah, nobody's saying that.
Me
but
or
it's
Alf
also
are not saying
villainous.
that, which probably these people think.
This is what I was
Because
saying.
they're
Like,
fucking
how
fans.
many movies have we seen where a guy walks up to a girl and hits on her at a bar, and she like throws a drink in his face or slaps him?
Yeah.
Nobody says shit
Well, they
about
hate
that.
that too.
Yeah,
bro.
nobody
You don't
calls
think
those
they're
women
fucking
villains.
freaking out
I'm sure they don't
because
like
they're
it, and they're
on
probably. Yeah, but nobody really calls them villains for it, though, right? Like they'll just maybe think she's kind of a bitch. You know, that's fine.
No, but I
She's not
bet
a
you if you
villain.
look at the Quarterings timeline and like he mentions that he like some random movie was on TV. Oh, I never noticed. The bitch threw the thing in his face. What a fucking.
Are
bitch
you
feminist.
serious? That's fucking.
No, I'm
ridiculous.
sure they'll do that
Oh,
now.
man.
Now,
Maybe.
after they've been sucked into this world of fucking
See a
anti
video come out and say Alien was really a feminist agenda, and they start breaking down the Alien series.
Yeah, watch when an Alien Anniversary comes out.
Loved
they'll be
by
freaking
nerds
out
up
about it.
until 2020 when the fucking they go back and say it's an SJW feminist movie. Oh my god!
I don't know. Like, what
I
else
would
could they
not
do?
like that at all. That would make me so mad.
Like you said, there's tons of films with a man getting a drink thrown in his face, which totally isn't deserved ever.
Yeah, it's a bit some of them are kind of extreme for the moment. Some of them are not, but in the end, nobody ever sees that as being
You
villainous.
throw water on a motherfucker because he said something. Fuck,
Maybe
you know.
the most
throw
you'd
a
be like
fucking-
would be like, oh man, she didn't have to go that far, but they wouldn't say she's a villain. You know, like that's weird.
No, they'd never say she's a villain.
Yeah,
but
that's
they-
weird.
They might now, is what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
that
They
is
actually
so
might
weird.
now.
Can you imagine? Like, oh, she's evil. I can't believe she threw a drink in his face. What an
If it's
evil
in a superhero
bitch.
movie, maybe.
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, somebody
Yeah.
walks up to Wolverine in a bar and says some shit, and he fucking puts his 2 blades around his fucking chin and tells him to, sit the fuck down, bub, before I cut your, before I put my middle claw out or whatever and kill him.
I saw
But
some
that's
guy
fine,
freaking
he's
out
still a
about
hero.
Ghostbusters today. They were like, the
Ghostbusters.
true Ghostbusters 3 is coming out. Yeah. I'm just like, oh my god, you have to do something with your life.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
on
you're
top
like
of that, it's the only
so
good-
happy that it's not the women's one.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
But it's funny because the other one was never marketed as being a Ghostbusters 3, so it's the only Ghostbusters 3 that he's talking about. There was never
Is it
any other
Ghostbusters 3?
No, this one that's coming out
Really?
now is, but I'm saying the one with the women was never marketed as being Ghostbusters
It is
3.
with who? Like the
The woman one. Oh, the Ghostbusters 3? Yeah, it's got Dan Aykroyd, Bill
Mm.
Murray. Obviously not
Okay.
Egon Harold Ramis because he died.
yeah. I know he died.
Yeah.
That's why.
But I guess it's going to be them like passing the torch and it's going to be like a younger generation.
Okay, what's his face is probably in it too. Black dude.
Black dude.
I forget his name all the time.
Hudson?
It's like a common name. Yeah, Ernie
Ernie
Hudson.
Hudson, yeah.
hmm
Yeah, he's
It's a very generic
he'll
name.
probably be in it too. But the other one was never marketed as being the third Ghostbusters film. It was marketed as being a
That's
reboot
true.
in its
It
own
wasn't.
movie. So for
Like,
him
I don't
saying
even care about that movie.
it's
It probably
completely
is.
irrelevant to say this. Oh, the true Ghostbusters 3 is coming out. There's no false Ghostbusters 3. What are you talking about? Are you expecting one in the future?
These people just haven't gotten laid in years, bro.
Yeah,
by anyone.
seriously.
Or never. Like, that's the problem. I don't know. Brooks, I guess, gets laid, but I don't get what his problem is. With that scene.
I don't know.
Oh, God. She's a villain, bro. She's a villain.
Oh, I just heard some crazy thunder out there. Are you hearing that? Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah, it's raining already.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's raining here, but I just heard some serious, like, it's probably closer to me.
Some gross shit the last couple of days.
Yeah, fucking shit. Now my doggies are scared. But it's
They're
weird.
gonna start.
It's so weird that they care about it so much.
Yeah, what did they do
even
when they
after
lived
the,
in
even
water?
like,
What did the wolves do? Do they get scared of that shit?
what the dog? The
Do wolves get scared
Yeah,
of?
I think. Well, I don't know. I think they
thunder
just
and
probably
lightning?
find shelter and they just stay under until it's over. They're probably scared. Well, they probably just don't want to.
But do you think they quiver like dogs? Like probably not.
No, they get used to it. I would think. Maybe when they first experience it. Like I remember when my dog, when she was young, she would get kind of scared of thunder, and now she doesn't. She doesn't even react to it.
Dogs are like retarded with it.
Depends on the dog.
You fucking hear it, all of a sudden they like, you see them fucking boom, like they fall to the ground like as if the house got hit. They're stupid.
My dog just fucking doesn't even react to it anymore. She used to shoot, like, it would go boom, and she would, like, pick her head up and her ears up, like, to listen around to, like, what was that? Like, what the fuck's going on? But after a few more times, she would just put her head down and be like, well, nothing's happening, so I guess I'm just put my head down. And I guess they see I'm not scared, so they're like, all right.
Yeah, they're weird with fireworks too.
Yeah, with fireworks, too. My dogs do the same thing. Every time there's fireworks, they'll pick up their head, look around, like, what the fuck? And then eventually they started doing it.
Yeah, I don't get all this shit.
No. I remember
How
I was
seriously into this shit these people are.
I remember before the movie came out, the Quartering had this tweet argument with someone else, and then somebody made a joke saying, "Watch this movie be good. That would be hilarious. You know, that would be so funny." And then he retweeted that and said, "No, it won't be good. The movie hadn't even come out yet, and he was already saying it's not going to be good." So it's like, damn, like, how do you know? You haven't seen it. Like, seriously, I went in there not expecting it to be bad, and I thought it was decent. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a decent movie. And, but after that, I was like, you know, you haven't even seen the movie yet. How can you tell? And this guy started arguing with me about it. And it's so weird. And then he said, well, I'm not going to go see it because of Brie Larson. And I told him, well, that's fucked up. You're going to punish hundreds of people that worked on that movie and take money from them, you know, and not give them money because you don't like one person in the fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't like one person of the staff. Like, there's hundreds of people that worked really hard on this movie, you know? And if you were going to see it just for one person, it's stupid.
Like,
I was like, that's...
Yeah,
you don't have to either. But these are people that complain about SJWs who say, don't go see a movie because this one guy is racist. Right? And now they're punishing everybody else who made that movie. And I've seen these same kind of people make those arguments to SJW people saying, hey, well, you're going to punish all the people who worked on this movie because you think one person's a racist? Like, that's wrong and blah, blah, blah. And now they're the ones saying it. And they're like, oh, well, you're going to see it. That means you're telling them you want this movie to be marketed this way. When we're trying to tell them, you know, if we don't, you know, we can't go see it or they're never going to stop marketing this way. And I'm like, why are you trying to control how they market their movies? They can market it any way the fucking way they want. Let the market decide. You don't decide. Like, you don't tell people to decide. You decide by not giving it money. You're not supposed to go around and tell other people to not enjoy things that they might enjoy. Like, what?
We're gonna have a protest outside a movie theater.
I went to see it just on the strength that I like Marvel movies. Like, I have not seen one Marvel movie yet I didn't have a fun time watching, you know? So I saw it on the strength of that. And I had a fun time watching the movie. I didn't think it was bad. It's probably the worst of the Marvel movies, you know, and I consider it at the bottom with some other ones. Like, I didn't like the second Avengers movie too much either. But it was still a good movie. I just didn't like it as much as the others. I'd put it down there with that. But those are still decent movies. They're not the best movies, but they're decent movies. You can watch them once, you know, with some popcorn and enjoy yourself. Watch a character fly around and fucking blast shit. That's fun. You know? I'm cool with that.
Yeah, these people have lost their fucking minds.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, the reformed anti-SJW isn't much better. So.
It's mob mentality, like that Twilight Zone.
They're doing the
episode.
same shit back to these
Yeah.
anti-SJWs now that they were doing to SJWs.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. I've been saying that for like 2 years now, that the opposite side has become just like the people that they were criticizing, and now they do the exact.
Oh yeah,
same
but
thing.
then like there's the reformed anti-SJW.
The reform.
That's the new one.
They
coming
go back
about. You
around.
see it, yeah.
You don't see it. No.
Yeah, they're like, oh, now they're just attacking the one side again, but it's that side. And they're doing the same shit. They're just going, oh, you're triggered, bro. You're triggered. What? You're triggered? You're triggered by fucking
That's what
some
it
girl?
seems like.
You're
But
triggered by a comic book
Yeah.
character? Her.
yeah, that's
So it's
true.
just like, I said this before. These are these flip-flopping people. Like they all are. They're just flip-flopping all the time on their fucking ideas. It's so fucking weird.
And it's true. It's for me. It's more of
Now
a
they're
thing
just-
of like
now
things
they're
that needed
just
to be said.
telling
at the
other
right
people
time.
they're triggered. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. You triggered, bro.
Like it just goes back and forth on who you tell is triggered. It's just like what? You fucking people are retards. How about that?
Yeah,
How about that? I'm better than all of you and you're retards.
yeah. You guys are all fucking
Fuck
retarded.
this.
I can't believe it. And it's funny how they all had the same thing in their title. Captain Marvel is a villain.
He's a villain?
Yeah. No Bullshit had it on his. Tim Pool had it on his. Joey fucking
the video
Salad.
too?
Joey fucking Salad has
Salad.
it on. Joey fucking Salad had it on his. What the fuck? That's
Why?
hilarious. Yeah, why? Why is Joey Salad talking about Captain Marvel being a villain? Who gives a shit? What Joey Salad fucking thinks about a movie?
Do you believe this villain?
Why would anybody care what Joey Salad thinks about a movie? Dude was making fake prank videos, making Trump people, anti-Trump people look bad. Literally making fake videos about it, and paying people to harass Trump supporters, and filming that as a prank.
He's a hero, bro.
Yeah, as a social experiment, and he got caught by H3H3 doing that. Like,
He's a hero,
He's a
bro.
hero.
He's not a villain.
you're a liar. Yo, Joey Salads, you're a fucking liar.
I can't believe Patrick like kept moving the goalposts with this
Yeah.
whole thing. Like every time I said, "Oh," he's like, "Oh, how about just being a good person?" And I'm like, "What?"
But the character's
this
not
about-
meant to be a good person. Why would
No, but like, how did it become that? Like, how did the argument
Yeah,
go to there?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, how did
why did it go
yeah,
from
yeah.
oh, like before that it was Avengers? Oh, she was good enough to make the Avengers, and you know, Arnold would never make the Avengers.
Well, she didn't- yeah.
I'm like, why are we having these
But you know,
conversations?
you want to know
Are we
something
dead?
else that's funny, which is kind of shows that he hasn't seen the movies either.
Batman would never do that.
No, you want to hear something even
What
funnier
is
that he doesn't? Yeah, I guess he hasn't seen the movies for. Captain Marvel, the movie, or like her origin movie, takes place in the 90s. Her in the Avengers is in 2019. You know, or 2020 something. It's not in the 90s. It's a good like 30, 40 years apart till she becomes an Avenger. Like, what you get, you know? So that's even a point
Bro,
that
even
doesn't
when I
make
read
any
comics,
sense.
I didn't have conversations like this about the comics because it would be so fucking gay to do so.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, nobody cares.
complaining about shit like this. Like whenever
Dude,
when
we
I
had
read
female
comics back then,
heroes
we
in
were
comics
like,
when we were kids.
Yo, that
right?
story was awesome. This happened and that happened.
Yeah, yeah.
You weren't like, oh, she's a fucking villain, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Brie
And we had
Larson.
female heroes as kids too, and we never said, "Oh, they just made her kick his ass because she's a woman." You know what I'm saying? Did you
Yeah,
ever say
bro.
that?
What kind of, who the
Storm only beat Magneto in this page because she's a woman. They're trying to show girl power here. You know,
what?
like what?
Aren't you an X-Men fan, you asshole? Like, what are you talking about? Don't you want her to beat his ass?
They just made Jean the most powerful mutant because she's a woman. That's the only reason they did that. It should have been Cyclops.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, what the? Imagine your friends were saying that shit when you were reading comics back then.
I would not have. I just wouldn't talk to them anymore about it. I don't want to talk comics with you. You're no. I'm not talking to you about comic books anymore.
Yeah, any of your friends mention anything like over and over and over again, you're like, all right, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up about this shit. It's enough already. You're obsessed.
Yeah, that's the part where it's weird is these guys' obsessions. I think with a lot of these YouTubers, maybe not all of them, but I think with a lot of these YouTubers, it brings them views. And they know that, so they milk it. You know what I'm saying? The quartering was kind of saying that at the beginning of that video that we were watching, the latest one. He's like, all right, I hadn't been talking about this for a while, but it gets me money. And, so it's like, yeah, he gets a lot of views when he does it. That's what it is.
How does anyone watch the channel after that?
Right? I don't get it. No, but these people, it's funny, man. If you look at Twitter and you watch these fucking videos, man, some of these channels, their fans are like that. They want the YouTuber to capitulate to them. They want to say, oh, make content on this, and they want you to do that. And if you don't, they're like, oh, they don't care about their fans. You don't care about your fans, man? You don't listen to your fans? You don't want to give your fans what they want? It's like, what? Like, what are you talking about, dude?
So fucking bizarre.
And some of these YouTubers do capitulate to them, and I'm like, like, who gives a shit? I don't give a shit what my fans want to do. Me making videos is my hobby. I
No
like
one tells them to shut the fuck up.
They're doing it for me.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I know, shut the fuck up.
Already. Yeah.
But these people do it for the money. That's what they want to do it for. And then they put out too many videos. They've watered themselves down. If you look at how many videos does the quartering put out, and then how many subs to views does he get? Like, it can't be fantastic, right?
I don't have a clue. I've never watched the guy's videos ever.
But he do so many. Let's see. This one he just put out. The Captain Marvel one has 202,000 views. His subs are 525,000. Yeah, that's not bad. That's like almost half. That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's good.
It's got 12,000 likes and 859 dislikes. Why so many dislikes? I guess because they're tired of hearing him talk about it.
Yeah, and they realize this is one he's retarded about.
But there's a Captain Marvel one, and people are going to want to see that. Let's see like a generic quartering video lately.
There's no bullshit against copyright striking.
I don't know this guy.
Let's see, this is 4 hours ago, 36K. He doesn't get bad views. I thought he had way more subs than 500,000 something. I thought he had way more than that. I was wrong. Like 500,000 something. A little over 500,000. And he gets like maybe 101K views in 22 hours. That's not bad.
Yeah, most people are getting now like that percentage, bro. Like 20% or something. It's not.
Let's see,
YouTube has fucking killed the views. I don't know how they did it, but
they
killed the views.
But let's see, no bullshit in the last like 20 something hours, maybe. In the last day. SJW attacked Disney's Aladdin remake 2 days ago.
Why is Aladdin worth protecting, but like some other shit isn't? That's what I wanted.
And
when does it count as attacking or
criticizing?
Or they're attacking.
632. He has 632,000 subs, and this video from a day ago has 107.
No bullshit?
Yeah, he's got a lot.
What?
And he's getting about 100.
The last time I looked at his subs, he had like 150, and that was like a year ago. He really gained that many since then? That's crazy.
You got to see, he puts out crazy amounts of videos.
How could he have 600,000? I thought maybe he had 200.
I'm gonna show it on the stream because it's kind of funny.
No one's getting subs. How the fuck did he get so many subs? That's crazy.
I give no bullshit a hint here. You gotta switch up the way you do your thumbnails, bro. They all just kind of look the same. Look at this. Dude, they all look exactly the same.
That's what they want.
It up sometimes. Yeah, I guess
like
that's what they want.
Yeah, it just fucking sticks out to these people.
And it goes back pretty far up. I'd switch it up now to try to do something different. Yeah, it's kind of like a cookie cutter, like a factory output.
Of course, that's what they all are. All the big YouTubers are like that. That's what they all try to do. So, I don't know. That's the thing. That gets your subs, I guess.
Yeah, and they don't stray from that. all these YouTubers right here that I met that we've talked about today, I would like them to do different kind of content, try to spread their wings out a bit, try to advance and get better.
It's cookie cutter.
Yeah, maybe get better. You know, heighten up your. But I mean, if they're doing good by doing what they're doing, fuck it, milk it. Fuck it. Milk it till you can't milk it no more, and then get better. But but by then it might be too late. That's why I say it's better to start spreading out your wings now and start trying to do different things.
Well, these people are in a hole. They're just in their own world.
And maybe a bit of quality control on the topics you pick. You know what I'm saying? So you don't always do low hanging fruit. Like most of these are. Remember when people used to like criticize people for picking low hanging fruit? Nobody does that anymore. Now it's just like
no, because everyone fought each other.
I'm gonna do all low hanging fruit.
Doesn't care.
I'm gonna make cookie cutter videos on all low hanging fruit arguments that we've gone over and over and over again. Look at it. I'm gonna go through.
What did that guy throw in the fucking Discord yesterday? The fucking what's it called? A wage gap video.
Oh, is that not? It's yeah.
Oh
but look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna go through some of the titles of his videos. Right? Gillette ad gets woke again. SJW's attack Disney's Aladdin remake. Avengers Endgame cast hates Brie Larson. Who cares that the cast hates this chick? Who fucking cares? Terminator Dark Fate's woke all-female trailer. It wasn't all-female trailer. It had a dude in it. The dude was the Terminator, but it had a dude in it. Aladdin remake's casting controversy explained. James Charles loses 3 million subscribers. Alabama won't air Arthur's woke wedding episode. Why I became Muslim is bullshit. Drunk Nancy Pelosi video sparks outrage. No bullshit attempts to argue against incest. Well, what? That's on Destiny. That's Destiny. That's Destiny's video. Says no bullshit attempts to argue against incest.
As if it's a bad thing.
Yeah, why would you want somebody to come on your channel and take the side of the argument against? That is such a twat. What a twat move. DNA test girl gets triggered again. The one that Devin did like months and months and months ago. He did it a month ago. Oh yeah, then he has a whole shit ton of videos on AOC. Look at this. Cortez and Elizabeth Warren team up. AOC's Dumb number 16. He started making a series of these called AOC's Dumb. And this one's number 16 from 6 days ago. Oh my god. BuzzFeed attacks 14-year-old YouTuber. Captain Marvel controversy continues. Burger King gets woke and political again. It's what all the videos are. SJW shocked over Ancestry DNA test. He did 2 of those. Game of Thrones fan signs position to remake. Yeah, who cares? Oh, I guess he does stuff on TV shows and stuff like that too. And movie reviews, so I guess that's alright. That one makes sense. But yeah, that's... it's the same thing over and over again. Shake it up, Brooks. Like remember those old chicken commercials? Was it Shake and Bake? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Shake and Bake. Shake and Bake, Brooks. Smoke some weed. Get your creative juices flowing.
Someone in SJW still is pretty lame. No, it's like way more played out than fucking Keck. And that is fucking played out.
A lot of those words are played out already, but they're gonna be played out. There's nothing you can really do about it.
Kekistan.
That was so lame, right? So lame.
Oh my god.
I can't imagine who has a Kekistan flag still hanging in their room wall. Like
that shit is there. They love it still.
Oh boy.
Why are these people so fucking herby, bro?
Yeah, the internet was the rise of the herbs, dude. 100%.
It's seriously not even nerds, because nerds has the they're supposed to be smart. Like herbs is definitely the better word than fucking nerds, because herb, you're just a fucking loser. Whatever.
Fucking herb.
It fit your character. You're a herb. You could be all kinds of herbs.
This herb ass fucking bitch.
Something wrong with you, bro. These fucking weird autistic kids.
That's so weird.
Everyone's a fucking autist. Like, what? Why are there so many autistic people?
Yeah, but we won the meme war.
We won the meme war. You don't know how to meme. The left cat meme.
The left cat meme, the right won the meme war. Like, who gives a shit? What the fuck are you talking about? Do you think anybody's gonna give a shit about some fucking pretend LARPing fucking war you're talking about?
Yeah, and then
10
they've
years?
used
Like,
it
nobody's gonna
against
give a
them.
shit.
They're like, it's all Nazi shit, and now everyone thinks every single Nazi shit.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, how these people feed into this. There's no bullshit's going over an article that's talking about fanboys triggered over Captain Marvel scene striking back against toxic masculinity. And like, they're saying you're proving them right, and you are. You're feeding into this. If you guys didn't bitch about this scene and said, I'm tired about talking about Captain Marvel, let me ignore it, that article would have never existed. The article is specifically there because these guys are bitching about that scene. That was deleted from the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
How weird is
right?
that? So weird.
Self-fulfilling
Prophecy. They're creating their own villains, just like the left created their own right, the right created their own left, and it just keeps going back and forth. And they keep feeding into each other.
Yeah, everyone's a Nazi now.
Yeah,
so,
now everyone's a Nazi, and everyone's a fucking SJW.
So now everything they do is like they're like attached to Nazis.
I'm waiting for the end. Some new,
even though that's wrong. Like it's.
I'm waiting for a big like anti-SJW person to pop up out of nowhere and be like, everyone's an SJW, and you got to call them all out on it. Like Anita Sarkeesian said, right? But everything is sexist. Everyone and everything is an SJW.
Yeah,
and you've got to call them out.
Without saying it.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for somebody to be overt about it and come out and say it, because that's basically what's happening. Now it's like you can't even have female leads in your movies without it. Oh, feminist agenda. So now they are swaying. They want to sway the market so that people don't even think of putting female characters in the lead, right? Where like you're gonna make your movie and you're gonna be like, yeah, how about we make it? Oh, I wrote this movie about this hero. It's a woman, she gets lost in the jungle, blah, 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 and you make a fucking movie out of that. They're going to go, you sure you want to make it a woman? All these guys are going to complain and say that we're being feminists and we're trying to push an SJW agenda. And, we've seen that bring down the ratings for movies. Maybe we should make it a guy so that doesn't happen,
So why does Lara Croft get a pass? Why is she cool?
Because that came out before the whole SJW thing started. That's the only thing it is. Because now it's going to be.
But you don't think some feminist was in the board being like, "Yo, why don't we make a woman do this shit?"
Yeah. Oh well, they hated Captain Marvel so much. This happened. There was a movie called Battle Angel that came out. That who makes that movie? James Cameron. Yeah, James Cameron movie. Battle Angel
again, bro.
Yeah, James Cameron again. Battle Angel, and then these guys, because they hated Captain Marvel so much, were starting to promote the other movie, which I saw and is also just a decent movie. It's not great. It's just a decent movie. And they were promoting that. Go see Alita. This is the true feminist hero. Well, she's strong and doesn't need to, act a certain way and this and that. And it's like, well, what? You're promoting another movie instead? Just let people go see the movies they want to see, dude. Like, what the
This
fuck
is what's funny, bro. It's the same group of people and they've split, but we're not part of these people.
No.
We're in some other area of this whole thing, but somehow we got sucked into it.
Well, we're not extreme behavior people, so we can call out the same thing they're calling out, but except that they started getting more extreme.
We're like on the border of the mosh pit.
And we stayed at the beginning of it, where we were like, oh yeah, we're just going to call things out that are unreasonable. We understand that. But these people kept calling out things that were unreasonable to the point that sometimes now they call out things that are reasonable. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just looking for it now. They're looking for those unreasonable statements. Even to the point where they'll make it up and talk about a deleted scene and not understand how it makes sense to the film around that deleted scene. Like, it totally makes sense to it. No, they deleted it because it was a scene about toxic masculinity and they knew that. They looked bad. Villain. No, but they kept the scene where she blasts a jukebox in a fucking bar for no reason just to demonstrate her powers and gets into a fight. And gets into it wasn't a man. Or the scene where she gets into a fight with a Skrull in a filled fucking subway train, when she had the option of taking it out of there or waiting till they got off the train to fight it. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't, because she doesn't care about the fucking collateral damage. You know, her goal is to stop Skrulls. She don't give a shit about the collateral damage around there. It doesn't do anything to the bigger picture.
I don't know. Something's got to give here.
Yeah, that's just, they didn't watch the movie and they didn't put two and two together that her character is not portrayed as a hero through most of the movie. She slowly becomes a hero.
It's the story of her becoming a hero.
Yeah, exactly. And it's actually one where, a lot of these movies, the story, they become a hero like halfway through or something. This is more like it takes time for her to become a hero. She's
an arc.
Yeah, she's been brainwashed by one side. So she's getting her memories back little by little throughout the film and becoming more and more human because she's been tricked into thinking she's not even human. She thinks she's a Kree warrior. And though the Kree are like a warrior race, well, she thinks she's half human, half Kree or something like that. She's really not. But she thinks she's this, the Kree are a warrior race. They're basically the villains of the galaxy. They try to conquer planets and shit.
You're saying Africans are the villain of the planet?
They're the blue people. If you think Africans are blue, I don't know. But I don't think so.
No,
but
it's because of warrior people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but they're...
No,
yeah, they've conquered many planets. But there's blue ones and there's white ones of them. So it is kind of like black and white, but it's white and blue on their planet. And the blue race is the pure ones. The white ones are the ones that they mixed with other races and on other planets. Yeah, with other planets, so they're like half Krees and shit. But she thinks she's part of this stoic warrior race whose only goal in life is to like fight the Skrulls to take over the galaxy, to be the main race in the galaxy, basically.
Ethno-national.
Yeah. So why does anybody think she's gonna act heroic towards humans, who she thinks she's a superior race to, when she's there to protect them from the Skrulls? She doesn't give a shit. Say, I'm here to protect you from the Skrulls, but I don't care if one of you dies individually. She's there to take over the entire planet, really. For the Kree, really, because they want to use it as a military outpost against the Skrulls. That's what they want to use Earth for. That's why they...
It's weird with Tim Pool, because he tries to come off as this centrist guy, but then he's like, look at Brie Larson, raw villain. so villain, right? They're being so blatant about it now. They don't even care. They don't even care that you're just throwing it in your face now, bro. It's so bizarre. Are you there? Are you pushing to talk?
Yeah. No. I was just listening to you. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's weird how obsessed they get over it. And like I said, it's gotten to the point where they're just gonna. It's a thing of this. It's just low-hanging fruit. They just keep going for it. And it's just, how do the people still? I guess people like it. I don't know. I mean, if they're getting views from it, fuck it. Put an end to it. You're gonna close it. Just don't respond.
That thread, I'm gonna mute it probably, just so I don't.
Are people still responding to it? I don't think so.
Oh, I haven't responded in a couple of hours, but
yeah, I haven't seen. Nothing's been going on with it for a while.
But I probably have something to respond to there, but I won't. That's why I'm just gonna mute it.
Doesn't it make sense that people think that these people are misogynist? Like when the SJWs say, "Oh, you're a misogynist," they're kind of proving them right by making so many videos about it and being so obsessive about it. It's like you're kind of proving them right.
It's weird though, because they're not right in the beginning of all this, but now it's becoming right. Like we said, self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy. And in the end, like I said, it's not necessary. They're not
because
necessarily
people are just
wrong.
getting too into it. Too worked up about it.
And maybe in their videos they're not necessarily wrong, but the point that they make so many videos about it and talk about it so much that it starts.
No, but this they were wrong. Like this was exactly like shit we've seen millions of times, and they never cared.
Yeah, and they won't accept.
All of a sudden, it's some feminist shit. Like we've seen this before. What's the fucking problem?
Mm-hmm. They won't accept that they're wrong on that. It's gonna stay like that.
We've never cared for all these other characters that we've seen them do the same shit, and they're just harping on this fucking character for some fucking reason. So fuck them, they're wrong.
Yeah.
In this instance, they're wrong. I don't care what other videos they made.
Fucking retards. Fuck them, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Wrong.
Wrong.
Like fucking Trump. You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Are they getting on Brie Larson to forget about Trump?
Never.
Who knows?
Yeah, and it goes both ways. That's how obsessive people are, and the left, the other people are obsessive too. Like they obsess about Trump, and they obsess about toxic masculinity and this and that. And you guys, it's like both sides have become so extreme and obsessive about their topics. It's like, all right, let's move on. How about we move on and forget those people?
Conversation has become horrible.
Remember when the internet was busting creationists and it got to the point where it was just the same thing over and over again, and then people started saying, I think I'm done with creationists, let's move on. That's what needs to happen with this feminist SJW shit. People have to finally say, we've said everything that can be said about this, let's move on.
Yeah, but there's all this shit mixed together now, and race is the worst of it all, and it's gotten worse, that one, more than anything.
Because of this, because it gets so much attention. People
and everything's a Nazi now, and that's
then one
news,
people push another people to a further direction, and the other people push back, and that pushes the other people in the further direction. And they
it's gotten so much worse with the race shit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Now, articles are written everywhere about who's a racist.
It's stupid.
Fucking crazy, bro. It shit is just bad news. It's not gonna go well.
Yeah, it's stupid. But if you keep giving it attention,
how do you bring the conversation back to fucking normal? Because you can't claim any of this shit isn't racist. It's just, oh no, it's racist because we said so. That's it.
I guess you gotta give the smaller stuff less attention, I guess. That's what I'm talking about, the low-hanging fruit shit. There's some shit that's so silly and you keep addressing those things. But who gives a shit? Like, nobody believes those things. There's certain ones that it's like, nobody believes this shit.
Yeah, people say that, but then I see people only reacting to the one side of shit.
But if you believe something so stupid like that,
kind of believe
people believe something so stupid like that, there's no way you're going to change their mind. Make the videos for the smarter people that you might actually be able to be reasoned with and change their mind.
Because now this internet shit is starting to intertwine with real life.
Yeah.
It's not it's not gonna go well if we can't be real honest about shit.
Yeah, you can be honest, but I'm saying talk about stuff that's more relevant. You know what I'm saying? Instead of talking about stuff that's low hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Because if you keep picking on the low hanging fruit as well, everything on the tree is gonna look the same. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, the more important stuff is going to get hidden within the low-hanging fruit, and then, we see with, channels like these guys, like The Quartering and no bullshit, stuff gets buried, You have so much content, and they're all so similar. Shit gets buried. Up the quality of the top of the things you're going to talk about, You made 10 to 12 videos about Brie Larson as Captain America, or just the movie Captain America in general, from months before it came out till
Captain America's a true American hero, bro. What the fuck?
And it's been half a year since it's been out, and they're still putting out videos on it because something came out today, and everybody jumped on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, really? Come on, man. They were waiting for that, right? Like, oh man, I haven't made as many views as when Captain Marvel was around. Oh, something new about Captain Marvel, quick. Get the OBS going. Punch up the OBS. We gotta make this video.
Yeah, they got a video out within 2 hours.
Yeah. Joey fucking Salads posted it. Tim Pool retweets that. A little while after that, No Bullshit's got a video on it, and The Quartering's got a video on it. It's like, what? What the fuck? Really?
That's weird, because I would always try and do... I would always do these obscure little fucking stories when I was putting out way more videos.
Mm-hmm.
And while everyone was doing, I guess everyone's doing the same fucking shit. Just
some of them don't
20 videos on the same topic.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The Quartering don't do too bad. No Bullshit has more subs than The Quartering, but he doesn't have the same view sub ratio.
I wonder when he got all those, because he didn't
I think it was
jumped to 150. It took him a little while, and it was a good rate though. I don't know. It's so weird.
Yeah, he's always had a decent growth. There was a time I think where he kind of flatlined, and then I think he got some more growth after a while. I don't know. Probably the Captain Marvel.
Well, I'm wondering how he tripled or more his fucking
Captain
subscriber count
Let me social blade this.
Climate of YouTube, where it's hard to get subs. where they're not promoting other videos like yours and shit, you know? Like, I don't know how that happens now. Like, back then I could understand it if we were going by the same algorithm 2 years ago. I could see him being up to that now, but I can't even understand this. Same with Coach Red Pill. He just, out of nowhere, bro, he just gained like 150,000 subscribers. And you're like, what?
Yeah, holy shit. He's got a good no, he's got a pretty good growth. He gets like plus 600 one day subs, plus 700,
crazy.
plus 753 the next day after that.
But when
plus
did that
892.
start?
Let's look at this graph. Looks like he had a huge spike. Yeah, he has a huge spike. That's weird. He has a huge spike almost always at the same time. He first spiked July 17, 2017. That was when he first got his huge big jump. Then April 2018, he had another huge jump. Another little jump between July and October. Then he was on a downward slope all the way until April, and then it shot back up after April for another big spike. Which he's on a big spike right now. Like he's on the way up as of April.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
this-
how it happens.
Yeah,
I haven't figured out this algorithm yet,
Yeah,
so
and halfway through this month, halfway through this month till today, he's been getting from plus 300 to plus 800 subs, basically. At least.
so basically
841 daily
anti-SJW shit is more popular than ever.
Yeah, how crazy
Doesn't
is
even
that?
make sense.
How
does that make
crazy
any
is that?
sense?
Well, I guess if he's doing good and wants to milk that, go for it, dude. But you would think
How
that
is
would
that
plateau
possible?
at some point.
How is that possible? I'm not understanding that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, that's large numbers for this kind of content. Like Sargon has like that now, like a little, like more, but still. I don't know.
They're worse than the 24-hour news cycle they complain about. Yeah, it's a good point. Sorry, I wasn't reading chat for a while. Well, is
No one
one
said shit
upset?
for a
There
while.
is one upset dog. Yeah, this doggy's been crying for a while. He's always crying though. Well, it's clear that Billy and Alf have sided with the SJWs. This is why Trump won. Oh wow, greedy nerds are being greedy nerds. Oh, shocking. Whose doggy needs out? He doesn't need out. He's just always crying. They're worse than the 24-hour news cycle they complain about. Yeah, it's true. All right, well, I'm probably gonna end the stream. It's almost 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about everything we needed to. That was
Yeah, you started early, so you talked about.
yeah. I fucking hate it. These fucking nerds.
Go see Terminator 2, guys,
Yeah,
out
go
this
see
summer in
Terminator 2.
theaters.
They are. Did you know they're re-releasing it this summer?
Oh, they are?
I think so. I saw something about that.
No, they got some new Terminator movies.
No, yeah, but I heard they were going to re-release Terminator 2 as well.
They're going to bitch about that. They
I don't
already
know
have.
if it's going to be after or before the new one comes out. Probably before the new one comes out. They'll probably...
They already bitched about that one.
Yeah.
I think it's some term. It's some feminist shit.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
because it's all chick heroes, protagonists in it. But who cares? I don't know. If it's a good
Fucking
movie, it's a
Sarah
good
Connor,
movie.
the fucking feminist.
Sarah Connor looks like the love child of Steve Tyler and Stephen King in that movie.
Oh my god.
I'm not even
She's
joking.
old, man. How old
Yeah,
is
she is
she?
old, and then she has like that Steven Tyler style haircut. It's like, oh no, why'd they give her that haircut?
I
Yeah,
didn't
she's
see the
old, though.
third Terminator. I saw like part of it. Oh, that had a woman in it. They could have complained about that if they were doing video
Yeah.
back then. A female Terminator. ah!
Whoa, no.
Their head's gonna explode.
And then, yeah, but this one is as if none of the sequels counted, and it was only 1, 2, and this one's 3. Because this James Cameron got back the rights. So this is officially the third James Cameron Terminator movie.
Oh, it's a Cameron movie?
Yeah, yeah. He's not making it. Well, he wrote it, and someone else is directing it because he's making those Avatar movies. But he's like foreseeing it, but making sure it comes out the way he wants to. And but we'll see if it's good or not. I'll give it a shot. It's gonna be Terminator 3 finally. I mean, I love 1 and 2, so let's see. Maybe 3 would be a cool way to bring it back to the original.
They're gonna put Furlong in it.
Nah, I think he didn't. I don't know if he didn't want to come back or they just didn't want him. but they're actually gonna do like a scene, I think, when he's young, like in Terminator 2, like a flashback scene, and it's gonna be like a CGI furlong.
What?
That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but it's gonna be like an actor that they found a look-alike, and they're gonna use CGI to make him look a little more like him, you know, basically. Like fix him up to make him look like Furlong in the other one. Yeah, it doesn't, but when they did it with Arnold on Salvation, it looked pretty good. It looked pretty decent. They're getting a little better at it. Terminator Salvation, they had the original Terminator from the first Terminator movie in it, and they used like a CGI Arnold face on a bodybuilder who had a body just like Arnold Schwarzenegger, basically. Like from the original Terminator, and it looked pretty decent. Like they did a pretty good job of it. It really looked like the Terminator from the first movie.
That's weird.
And that was like 10 years ago, so I mean, they could probably do a way better job at that now. Depends on the scene. If they focus too much and close in too much on their face, you could tell it's not them. But if it's from a distance, it's usually not a problem.
Yeah, that's always weird.
Like, I don't know how the flashback scene is, if the character talks or if it's just him in the background, you know.
Yeah, well, I guess they do what they gotta do.
Yeah, basically. And Arnold's in it. Hello, it's me, Arnold.
Is he?
Yeah. That's who they go find or something.
I know, shit, bro.
That's what it is. They knock on a door and it opens it up and it's him. But like, you know, he's old looking. He's not a young dude. He's an old looking Terminator guy.
Yeah, it'd be so weird. They send back an old Terminator. It's Arnold. And you're like, why do they make you look old, bro?
Yeah. I blend in better. Terminators wouldn't expect me to look old.
Exactly. Quick fix.
Yeah, that's how dumb the Terminators are. You can trick them by making old-looking Terminators. Like, the Terminators never thought of making us look old, so...
It's so weird. Why do they have to come back naked? They're a machine.
Well, no, they all come back naked.
I know, but why?
I guess...
Why do Terminators come back naked?
Because if they didn't, they'd come back as a skeleton, right? They'd just be like a skeleton.
I don't know what happens there.
Because they have skin. They have skin like humans do. So I guess that transfers, but other materials don't. Like, probably like leather and shit like that. But I mean, if metal makes it through inside the skin, then you could probably send someone back in time with like an exoskeleton, right? They'll still be naked, but naked with an exoskeleton. They can lift like a truck or something, right?
Something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They'll come back naked.
Yeah. Just everything. They just have to be wearing metal if metal can go through. You know? But maybe like fabrics can't and shit like that.
Did they ever explain that shit? No.
Yeah.
I never heard anything about it.
Of why they can't travel with stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it's because then you could say that it only works on organic matter, right? But then Terminators have parts of them that isn't organic.
Yeah, that's very weird.
So that's weird.
Who knows? I think they just did that to trick you.
Yeah.
That was a trick, I think. Maybe like they,
Maybe they're all getting pranked.
Machine. Like I think in the first one they didn't want you to know he was a machine. So whatever.
John Connor's a bit of a jokester. He's pranking.
So they made him come back like naked. No, not him. The people who made the movie.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, but then,
you know what I mean? Like I think they didn't want you to think he was human a robot.
I know why. I have kind of an idea why. Because they don't want to leave things behind from the future. So they come naked.
Okay.
Maybe also like
that could be.
Yeah, diseases too or something like that can be carried on clothes and stuff like that from the future. They don't want to bring that back. Obviously, the Terminators don't give a shit if they bring back stuff from the future, right? Like, the Terminators aren't going to care, so they just send them like that. So I guess that goes back to your question then. Why do the Terminators come back naked? Because they could, if they don't care about leaving things from the future in the past, they could come with super weaponry from the future, right? Like cannons and shit, laser beams, laser guns.
Well, it's weird. They only sent back one.
Yeah, they only sent back one. It probably takes up a lot. Maybe it takes up a lot of power to do. So each side had enough power to do it once.
I'm not sure. Yeah, and they didn't even send back they sent back a human, the good side, the human side.
But why wouldn't you send one and then wait until you can send another one again, and then send that second one to the same spot and time you sent the first one. Like, you know, and just keep doing that. Eventually you'll have like 50 Terminators popping up in the same spot, you know, in one time, right? For you, it's taking months, but then at that time they're popping up all at the same time.
Yeah. It's crazy. So we're in this now.
And it's a fight of who can send the most people back in time. It's like 50 people, guys from the future, with a big crowd of 50 voices saying, "Come with me if you want to live." Like, oh shit. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.